and welcome. Good morning, horse players, to the road to the NHC. Let's get to work and take another step closer to Las Vegas, Nevada, where we're breaking down races 2 through 4 at Gulfstream Park and 1 through 3 at Aqueduct. And what to watch for, it's not just about picking winners. It's about finding the best value, the horses that give you the best bang for the buck. Vegas isn't going to wait for us, so we got to kick it into gear. And hopefully, if you haven't qualified yet, you're going to qualify. And we're going to help you do that today as we go through 6 races of feeders. And then after that, hopefully for 18 bucks, you got into the qualifier and saved yourself 75 bucks. And then we're going to also cover the 10 races that make up the qualifying races. Of course, my partner, 2022 NHC champ, David Harrison. What up, David?
Good morning, my friend. How you doing, Scotty?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm super pumped for the Pegasus.
Me too. Yeah.
I feel like I've done well in that tournament, and
yes, you have.
I'm super pumped, and I feel like I know the horses. I know the configurations of the turf course, the dirt, and then we'll cover some races today at Gulfstream Park. So maybe we can talk about that as well.
Sure. We can go through the card. But for those of you who aren't in South Florida or familiar with the weather, the natives here are a little uncomfortable. It's in the 40s this morning, and I think it's like 51 now, and it's breezy, overcast. I actually took a walk around the condo this morning. I'm like, ooh, it's a little chilly for me. I'm hoping for at least 50. So it's kind of, they call it brutal. And it's a wind, it's a cold snap. But considering that when I left Western New York on Wednesday, it was 0 degrees. And so it's a lot, 40 to 50 degrees warmer is fine with me. But the question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I know. Well, believe me, it was like 45 degrees this morning when I got up. Right now it's 56 degrees. I mean, we're talking about Florida, folks, where it snowed 10 inches in some parts of Florida over the last couple of days. So like it's unprecedented. In fact, I think it's the most snow that Florida's ever had.
I believe so. I saw the Panhandle there, and also New Orleans and Houston. I was like, wow. So there go the mild winters. There goes the temporary global warming short term. And we got winter back in fashion as it normally is in this time of year, so in January. Yeah. So.
Well, listen, big shout out to John and Wiz and Patrick's in the house. Hey guys, Rodney. What's up, Rodney? Kent in the house. And good to have you guys. Hopefully, we're going to have a bunch of the EquinEdge community. By the way, just a brief update on the new Handy View and the new layout for EquinEdge that's being done. Hey Joe, we are literally, I think we're close. We're about a month away. I think we can make the NHC, David. And it is freaking fantastic. Cool. We've added 30 more trainer stats. We've added so many new tools. We've added results to each of the lines on past performances. We're going to show you now on each of the past performances if horses in today's race faced each other in past races. It's just, I'm only touching on just a few things. I want to say there's 60, 70 new updates, plus race replays on approved tracks, live streaming from the site on approved tracks. And I don't think that many tracks are going to not want to be involved when they see this new EquinEdge. So super, super pumped. What's up, Mike Saletta?
Hey, Mike. How's it going?
You guys are used to. We have no snow. I mean, in Eastern Washington, no. It's like freaking crazy here in Florida. I don't know what's going on, but David, I think you brought the weather from New York. I think
I brought the cold weather down. It's all my fault. I apologize. So when I go back, it'll be in the 80s, guaranteed. So I'll be here for a couple of weeks. But look at it this way: I'll be leaving in 2 or 3 weeks. It'll probably be 85 and sunny every day. So but we got a lot of work to do this weekend. So as far as handicapping, playing horses, so it's not a beach day, and it makes me want to play horses even more when I can't go to the beach. So we'll get rolling this weekend.
I've got some good news. Okay, I actually handicapped all of the feeder and qualifying races except for 4 of the qualifying races. I actually handicapped. I don't know if that's good news or bad news, actually. In fact, I think it could be bad news.
I'm very proud of you, Scotty. You did your homework. I was lying on a couch last night with my EquinEdge and looking at some replays, and I have to tell you, we got to straighten out Gulfstream. That's where we've got to determine whether they're off the turf, on synthetic, at Tapeta. I haven't seen any scratches, changes yet, so it's kind of it was hard to handicap Gulfstream in all honesty.
It was sprinkling, kind of lightly raining all day yesterday.
Took them all off. So we had, I think, two dirt races on the track, and the rest of the 7 races were on the Tapeta. And so we got to look at the late scratches, late changes, because turf's still showing up on EquinEdge and also on my ADW. So I don't know where they stand. I don't think they're racing on turf, but let's see how.
I don't think so either. I was actually told 2 or 3 days ago. Bluegrass Dan told me he had heard that they are not going to race on the turf, considering they want the turf to be ready to go for Pegasus, right? So,
okay. And you got a bunch
I
of
highly doubt they're running on the turf today.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And if anybody in the chat room knows anything that we don't, any information, just let us know. But I would think it's all Tapeta. So I'm starting to get used to handicapping Tapeta, so bring it on. I mean, it is what it is. I actually won a few races on the Tapeta yesterday. So let's get it going. Maybe I'm on a streak with, maybe I'll be called Tapeta Dave by the end of this meet.
Wait, hold on. I think Rodney was saying we were on fire over at Turfway Park yesterday, and that is. And I'm going to look real quickly, and because I know we have a little bit of time, that's not an easy track to be on. And I'm looking at this for the first time, so we'll see. We'll take a look. So in the first race, we weren't on fire, although we did have a prize play. These algorithms, these long shot algorithms, we have 11 of them on the site. So there are 11 different ones, and you'll see these things pop up. They only win like 7% of the time, but when they do hit, they hit big. And you see this horse paid $83.78. You know, a few times I took these off. I'm like, this is like, it feels like a gimmick. And I'm like, I got to take this stuff off. And then people were freaking out. They're like, no. I'm like, you understand they don't win. You know, I think they're in the money, I want to say 20% of the time, maybe first, second, or third. So it's very low. So be careful. But they do pay off once in a while. Race number 2. Oh, look at another price play, as I say. Look at that, $11.52. Look at that.
That works.
Look at that. Okay. All right. So far, so good. First time starter here. We didn't have that horse. Hopefully the late it gets better. All right. Top EquinEdge pick paid $11.58 in race number 4. Race number 5, top EquinEdge pick paid $4.18. And let's see here. Oh, top EquinEdge pick paid $12.32.
Nice.
In race number 6. Wow, he wasn't joking. And race number 7, the EquinEdge second pick paid $4.50. That was also a horse to watch. You know, David, I don't know if you use this, but this is not a gimmick whatsoever. This is showing you that when horses meet certain criteria, meaning the top of each category of metrics, and it shows you what the win percentage is, the average win percentage, it shows you what the ROI is, and it shows you the in the money percentage. And in this situation, when a horse is the top win, top SOR, top GSR, top EE morning line, meaning lowest EE morning line, and EE second pick, they win 44% of the time. But you can see it's still a negative 9% ROI, but 82% in the money. So I think it's good information depending on how you want to wager it.
Exactly. And you may have a negative ROI because if you look at all those metrics and where they're the top, that it's probably going to be a short price. But keep that in mind. These horses the horses to watch, they are in the money so much that you can't, if you're thinking of leaving one of them out, that'll convince you not to. So it's definitely a valuable angle for me.
So, you know, since we started EquinEdge, I've been working with the developers, and I worked, especially in the beginning, I worked hand in hand with, I always still do for that matter, but really closely and teaching them horse racing, what to look for, things like that. When you see negative % ROI, for any of you thinking that that's bad, when you take, in some cases, 26% takeout, that's after the takeout. So it's, again, win bets. It's not about win bets always. Sometimes it's about keying and exotic. Sometimes it's about in your horizontals, things like that. But a negative 9, we have a lot of positive ROIs in this situation here, but you'll look for a gold. But I don't think we go any, I think negative 12% is as far as I'll let it go negative. The rest is all lower than that, better than that, and also positive ROI. But again, that's after takeout. Okay,
Right.
race number 8. The one horse won.
That a long shot?
And the EquinEdge long shot actually got second at 14-1. But the it was 15% to win, but it wasn't one of the top picks.
Mm-hmm.
And in race number 9, the 12 horse won. We didn't have that horse. That was one we didn't have. And then in race number 10, the EquinEdge long shot beat the EquinEdge top pick. Paid $24 for the EquinEdge long shot, and the exacta for $2 was $104. Yeah, it was a good night for us at Turfway. I have a horse that I'm following. I know it's not. I want to let everyone, and we'll watch it.
Sure.
But it's a horse that, look at my note, doesn't really get much better than this. First of all, Dan's got a note here, moved through a breeze effortlessly. So the horse is training good. And I actually considered claiming this horse because I watched this race, and here's my note. Broke outward at start from 11 hole, ran 10 lengths further than any other horse in the race. Watch for next. And that's the 5 horse, Gray Lark. He happens to be the EquinEdge top pick and 32% to win on top of it. And it's got the top GSR.
Right, and had a brutal post last time out, and just broke outwardly, and comes back at the 17.5 level. As long as get a clean break. I mean, this looks like a closer. And I don't know about you, but I was watching Tapeta the last couple of days. It looks like it's better to come off the pace. It seems like speed is not holding. Now it can change day to day, so we got to watch it the first couple of races. But I prefer closers on this Tapeta track.
Well, can I tell you, in 5 furlong, 5.5 furlong races that they run all the time, you haven't been able to come from behind except in the last week. I don't know why. I mean, never. I've never seen it. I've been here 5 years and I've never seen it. You don't come from behind in those distances, but horses are actually coming from behind right now. So
yesterday they did.
I don't know what's going on, honestly. And on the longer distances on synthetic, horses have always come from behind. So, you know, I probably wasn't even helpful with that information right there, but yeah, gee, we don't bet Tapeta races.
Yeah, right, exactly. I hear it.
I get it.
So
all right. So anyways,
I would match it up with my horse then. If we watch this race, I do like the 5, but I also like the 1. Dylan Davis comes back on his Sabby Sunset for Terra Nova, drops way down off that first try over synthetic, had a bump start. Didn't take a lot of money, but yeah, I mean, you're dropping down from a 50 claimer, a maiden 50 to a maiden 17.5, and now, and this is a New York bred, and off that. And didn't really do much running in the dirt track, but on the dirt track at Aqueduct, but had a race over synthetic. So with that drop down, I would like the 1.5 exacta here a lot.
You know, I always say this, and the reason I repeat it is it still blows my mind. Maybe he just takes mounts that his agent shouldn't be taking. I think I'd fire the agent, but Dylan Davis is the best 11% jockey I've ever seen in my entire life. Like Manny Franco's 13%. I don't get it. Those two guys are insane in the best circuits, but again, and that's no joke either. Maybe their agents are giving them mounts that they shouldn't be taking because these guys they're just, because I think when a trainer looks at 11% and go, hey, this jockey's only 11%, how good can he be?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're two excellent jockeys as far as Dylan's concerned. He's come into his own, right? He is right. The one thing I like about Dylan, and I noticed it first last winter at the NHC, but almost every race that that Dylan was riding in, he was putting his horses in a stalking position to win. I mean, even with closers, he'd get them in a good position. So in races, especially sprint races where there may not have been a lack of speed, he was on a horse that didn't have some speed, gets out of the gate third. And I'm like, that's perfect. You know, he got this horse out. So he's really improved with his positioning. So he's in rare form. So watch out for him this weekend. He's going to be on some live possible long shots this weekend, especially tomorrow.
So I struggle a little bit with horses like this, although here's what I do like. The horse is dropping from a 48, and it improved a little bit last time out, but it's dropping from a 48 SOR down to a 38. That's such a massive drop. And it showed some speed. but its win percentage is going down a little bit. Its GSR does go up, but you can see it's not really, this horse isn't really bred for synthetic. At least the GSR is saying that this horse is all dirt. If you look at this, you'll see it's a 47 on the synthetic tab and a 62 on the dirt tab. So, while the drop in class is there, the horse is actually getting some play. I'm actually going to wait for the dirt.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm going. If you'd like to claim Greylock, I'd like to claim Savvy Sunset for 17.5. So let's go. Let's.
Actually, that might not be a bad deal, actually, and to claim the one horse for 17.5, and then be able to get the horse on the dirt. So
right.
But condition book has not been favoring almost any races these days. It's like so much synthetic. And if horses want to get into a race, they've got to run on the synthetic. It's really, really a drag.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, they're barely even riding dirt races these days. It's crazy.
Yeah. If you know, and also if you notice the one Savvy Sunset, both races had a little trouble. Hard to load in the first one, bump start in the second one. You can't have a bump start at 5 furlongs, stretching out. Hopefully the horse is not a chronic. A chronic filly to get in trouble all the time. We've seen that, and it's like, 5 in a row. Horse got off slow or got into some kind of trouble. I mean, that's just the tight nature of some animals. But I'm thinking the one will have a really big improvement today, dropping it against these.
I was kind of impressed with the 7-horse Trompetta. It's just a horse. I noticed it was the EquinEdge long shot, and the system changed it to the 4. But if you are playing, don't leave the 7-horse out. The 7-horse can improve, and it wasn't a bad race last time out when it dropped in the class, and it's even dropping further right now. And it's just a competitive race on paper, so I wouldn't look at the win percentage necessarily. So I think that you need to just watch for this horse carefully.
And I agree with you. That would be my third choice. Well, we're right on the same page today. How about that?
Yeah. Yep. I'm on the 5-7, but not surprisingly, the 5 horse is 9-5. I'm not even joking when I say this horse, and this was off the layoff. This horse ran at least 10 lengths further than every other horse in this race. That doesn't put the horse in the winner's circle because there's a new set of horses that it's facing. So you have to consider that. That being said, what you see here is, I mean, and are we dealing with a problem with this horse? Look, it's broke almost last in both lifetime starts. That's a little disconcerting, a little bit, right? So we'll see. Irad's back aboard, and maybe he can get this horse to break good. Obviously, draws better. If this horse breaks good, and obviously as long as the trip is somewhat good, then this horse, in my opinion, there's no way to beat this horse. But we'll see. Yep.
All right. Good deal.
So we've got a feeder. If you want to get into the feeder, first of all, you want to go to ntra.com and you want to sign up. It's $50 a year. And this will get you on the tour, because if you do end up getting into a qualifier and then getting into the NHC, if you're not a member, you don't get in. It's a lot of fun. If you've never done it before, the cool part about this is you put your money up front and then you make your plays. You don't have to put any more money, and it's really neat. And it's called mythical betting. And so it's a mythical $2 to win and $2 to place on each of your horses. And you get today's 10 races, and you're just going to put your top pick, and you're going to put an alternate pick just in case your top pick gets scratched. If the alternate also gets scratched, then it goes to the betting favorite. And you got to go to horseplayers.com and then horsetourneys.com. So 2 different websites, and then get involved, and then we'll help you through it as well. So if you're interested in that and you want to learn more, get on the chat and start asking some questions, or you can go to our coaching classes, EquinEdge.com. It's free to join the coaching classes, and we have like 3 or 4 per week. So look forward to seeing you. I do a Thursday class from at 1 o'clock Eastern time.
Very good.
Okay.
All right.
So we've got races 2 through 5 at Gulfstream and 1 through 3. Wait, is that 2 through 5 or 2 through 4?
2 through 5, and then 2 at the Big A. So
just 1 and 3. Oh, gotcha.
1 and 3. Yeah, they're leaving out race 2 at the Big A.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
All right.
So
want to start at Gulfstream second?
Yeah, let's do Gulfstream.
All right.
Races 1 and 3. All right. Oh, not Gulfstream. Let's go. I'm sorry. Let's go to.
You want to go to Aqueduct first and get that done?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Let me pull a. Let me pivot here because I just had Gulfstream up. Okay. First race. We're on the simulator. We got a 7 furlong maiden 20 claimer for fillies and mares 4 and up. Sort of a weak field. You've had a number of horses here. We've had a number of starts. These gals. This is a pretty weak race. So it looked like it came down to a 2-horse race. But let's see if we run the simulator and see where we get with a pace issue here. Notice it didn't look on paper like a ton of speed, right?
No, I mean, I'm on the 5. The 1's going to come from way back. Its form on paper doesn't look that great. The 5 horse is also a horse to watch. Katie Davis, our friend Katie's aboard. Hopefully, Katie's looking at the numbers, and she has EquinEdge. Whether she uses it or not, I don't know. But we love Katie, and we're rooting for Katie. I'm all over the 5 horse.
Okay, and I think it came down to a 2-horse race, in my opinion, the 5 or the 6. And Dominic Schettino now, who's a trainer of the 5, has another horse in here, the 2 Sherman's Marlin. And that always concerns me. Sherman's Marlin ran in the same race as the 5 horse last time out, was 31, almost 32 to 1. First time blinkers at 6 furlongs. The horse hasn't lifted a hoof, but those things are always tricky for me when trainers have 2 separate horses in a race. So I may not leave Sherman's Marlin out of a exotics. I'll put it to you that way. But I opted to go in a different direction here, Scotty. In the 2-horse race, I'll go with the 6 to beat the 5. Second time stretching out to 7 furlongs, but only second time at the maiden 20 level off a really, really long layoff. Rob Atras, keeps his horse. Actually, no, he picks it up from Mike Maker based on my notes. And now you get Manny Franco aboard, who we just discussed. So Atras's barn is starting to heat up. So second time at the 20 level, and did also face that's the Fact Jack in that first one at 6 furlongs. He's going to reverse the tables, stretching out to 7 today. So it's 6-5 for me. 6 is my top pick, 5 is my second pick, and the exact is going to be $6, and then we'll move on.
Okay, well, let's see it. Let's see what that is. So, probables on the exact.
For $2, yeah, 3, right, right, $8 maybe.
I don't know why that. Let's see what the probables are. Exact 6-5 is $13, and 5-6 is $6.
Okay.
5-1. That means it looks like a 3-horse race. That looks to be it. And I would imagine, obviously, with the same trainer having the 2-horse and the 5-horse, the 2-horse looks to have a little bit of speed, but I think the 5 just controls everything too much. The 6 doesn't seem to really have any speed, and the 5-horse just controls everything here. And the 5 is yet to get the lead. And you know how horses get when they actually clear, they get brave. So hopefully Katie Davis, who's ridden this 4-year-old filly twice, hopefully she's gonna send, not screw around, and just win the race.
Yeah, and this filly, the 5, has looked looks like she improved markedly the last 2 races, right? She was, when they took the blinkers off, we had a good try at 6 furlongs, and I think this horse prefers a little more distance than 6. So the mile race was good, just missed breaking its maiden. So if she repeats that race, it's going to be awful tough. But in any case, I landed on the 6, stalking the 5 and taking over mid-stretch and drawing off.
Okay, all right. David's on the 6. I'm on the 5, and you know what? I'm gonna enter this thing. I'm gonna do it as well. I like your 6, by the way, too. I like your 6 better than the 1. So, but yeah. So Aqueduct race number 1. I'm doing the 5 right now, and then I'm going to put your 6 for second. All right. So let's go to, we got Aqueduct 1 and 3. So level event 5, which is the 3rd race at Aqueduct. Let's go there. Good morning, Justin.
Hey, Justin Sampson. How are you, my friend? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. All right. So the 4-horse Magnolia Midnight. I watched. I looked at this. I watched the video. I watched everything. Throw out the last race. The horse dropped the rider last time out, and I mean this one just controls everything, David, from the very beginning. And all these horses look competitive in the race, but when you have one that's just as competitive and just as good and is going to has natural speed, if everything is okay after that debacle last time out, I just don't know how you catch Magnolia Midnight. I don't know.
Yeah, I would normally agree with you in this case, but in this case, I'm going to disagree somewhat. Yeah, does this horse look good on paper based on 3 races ago? Yeah. If we see a repeat of that race, most likely it's a winner here. But I just have a thing, and that's just my thing, that I won't bet a horse who stumbled and lost the jock in the last out. That's just me. I mean,
Yeah.
unless it's Flightline or some Grade 1 winner who we know has a winning profile. And also, I don't know if you noticed here, the last time this horse was 22-1 when it stumbled, and then there was a claim and voided. So the voided claim is most likely due to the stumble. Anytime a stumble, jockey off, I think the claim's automatically voided for precautionary reasons. So, but obviously a huge contender here because really should dictate things on the front end. But I'm going to go with a midnight exacta here, and I'm going to put the other midnight horse on top. And then yeah, after midnight, how's that song go? After midnight, we're all going to get it on. Whatever you want to do, it's going to be the midnight exacta, but we're going to have the higher price over. I'm going to take Midnight Trouble, first time off the claim for Mitch Friedman. Mitch Friedman's an old timer at the track. I mean, I remember when he first started back in the, I believe it was the early 80s. I'm like, who's this guy, Mitch Friedman? He's claiming horses and they're winning. He's rivaling Oscar and Furiola at one meet in particular, and it was all Sunny Meadow Farms. So this is a connection that goes back a long time. This horse now has been popular at the claim box. 3 of the last 4 times has been claimed. So there are other trainers who have confidence in this horse. Has won 2 races at the distance. If you look at the off the claim, this horse tried 1 1/8 miles, probably not a mile. Well, has won at 1 1/8 miles before, but I think maybe more suited to a 1-turn mile. And 2 back had a nice second at 13-1. So I think this horse is live off the claim, picks up Lascano, and then Franco goes to Magnolia Midnight. So we got a midnight exacta. I'm going to opt for Midnight Trouble as my top pick over Scotty's Magnolia Midnight. So here we go. 5-4.
Wiz is asking you a question.
Oh, absolutely. Frank Martin, Oscar Peter Furiola. Gasper Moschera, who was on fire at a couple of meets, is just, reliving memories back in the day. Yeah.
All right, let's get out to Gulfstream. Gulfstream 1, by the way, is in 9 minutes. We're going to play that race.
Sure, I'm interested to see that.
All right, so we've got 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 4 races at Gulfstream we're covering, correct?
4 races, yes. So we start off with the 2, which is now it was originally carded for the turf, so now I'm going to change that to Tapeta. Okay. And of course, we've got to be scared of the 2 Ken Ramsey horses, right? Those are the logicals. Yep. Billy the Greek, the 7.
Yep.
And Irad goes on the 8, Breakout, who just won the last race on the turf, but now this is Tapeta and has won on Tapeta.
And this horse had a nice effort against a 64 group 2 back on the synthetic over at Turfway Park. So there's nothing wrong with this horse, this horse on the synthetic at all. And it's second off the layoff. Safi Joseph. I mean, this horse does look very tough.
And also raced 2 back in the Rushaway, the stakes race at Turfway. Second off the layoff, won the first race off the layoff. Looks pretty tough to beat, and so does the 7. So I was looking at the 7-8 originally, but I can't resist the price here, Scotty. So the horse that I'm going to try to beat the Ken Ramsey horses, and I acknowledge it's likely that Ken Ramsey is one of his horses is going to win this race. But, I'm going to take a shot with going another direction here. I'm looking at the 5, Blue Slide Park. this horse now it has been changed. The concern I have is the race has been changed to Tapeta, right? This horse is a closer. I watched Tapeta yesterday at Gulfstream, and I think you want it to be closing. Okay. I don't know. The pace scenario is a little spotty here. I think the 2 will have the lead. There's some other pace, but I'm just going with a price here. This horse is 1 on the synthetic, albeit it was August of 24 to 16 non-wins at 2 lifetimes, so probably not the strongest field, but ran pretty good on the second Tapeta start back on October 12th. And was closing bump start, and so it had an excuse. So I'm just going with a price here with my boy Junior Alvarado up on board, and just needs a better start. If you look, he's had the last 3 starts has had trouble: pinch start, awkward start, bump start.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that, David.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. I mean, steadied early, 6 wide, like on the synthetic, and still lost by 2 lengths. And then look, awkward start, pinched at the start, slammed afterwards, 5 wide. Like, come on. And still finishing, like, but you're trusting. You're going to get a price.
Right. But you get the price, and Scotty, the way I look at it, it's risk reward, right? Sure. Yeah, it's a big risk placing a wager on a horse who consistently gets off slow out of the gate or runs into trouble. But you're getting compensated handsomely at 6 or 8 to 1 in a field like this. Yeah, and I acknowledge it's going to be tough to beat those Ramsey horses, but I think the 5 Blue Slide Park has an outside shot here. So that's where I opted. I landed on the 5 Blue Slide Park, and I couldn't pick between the 7 or 8, so it's either I'm just going to go with the 5 on both tickets if I have to.
Yeah, I can understand. Let me give you a horse to think about. And horses facing winners for the first time only win about 5% of the time. I'm probably answering my own question. Actually, I kind of like your 5 in a way as well, although I think it's going to be very tough to beat the 8. That being said, I want you to look at the mother of Talbingo, the 2 horse. This horse has, look at this, 1 start on dirt, no bueno. 10 starts on turf, earned $283,000. Look at this synthetic. 9 starts on synthetic, earned $377,000. So, and this horse is the fastest horse in the race, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, it broke its mate on a sloppy track at a 25 claimer. You have won impressively after a bump start, was a sloppy track. Tries Tapeta first time, stretches out. Is probably can get the distance, but there's too many unknowns here. And in my opinion, and unless the track has changed, I don't want to be on the lead today on the Tapeta. I want somebody closing, stalking a pace, and making an outside run. But we'll see.
Listen, after winning like this, Irad gets off as well. This is what's interesting. So Irad gets off of the horse and goes to the 8. Okay, maybe that's the right move. Maybe it isn't. Look at the jockey trainer combination of Tyler Gaffleone and Brian Lynch.
They're deadly, right?
39%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Outside shot.
The 3 might pressure, or it might not. The 3 horse is not the best breaker in the world, Mike. It's not. So here's the thing. Maybe the 8 is a little bit better than the 2, and maybe the decision for Irad was not an easy one. But now you get a 38, 39% jockey trainer combination. Lynch owns the horse. You have the speed of the race, and this horse is bred all day long to go on the synthetic. I don't know. I got to take the risk. It's not going to be any value to bet the 8 horse anyways. Right. If I was using another horse, believe it or not, I really like your 5. Although, I don't know that you can trust the 5, but one of these days it's got to have a good trip, doesn't it?
You would think so. And also gets a jockey switch today from Vasquez to Junior.
All right. Well, maybe that will help. So, okay. I'm going to go with the 2 Talbingo. That is also a little bit of a chance, but I think this horse might get an easy lead, especially if the 3 continues to break slow. And if the 3 does break slow, David, there is 0 speed for this horse in the race. None. Okay. I mean, this horse controls everything.
I'm a doubting Thomas, and I have to tell you, if this conversation was taking place at about 6 or 7 weeks from now, and we're at the NHC, and you were telling me you liked it too, I'd try to talk you out of it. That's all I'll say. We'll see how it goes.
All right, fine, whatever.
Okay. You talk me out of the 5, so that's why we love this game. We all have opinions, not to say one of us right, one of us is wrong. I played a horse yesterday I couldn't believe, just got out of the gate bad, had a terrible trip, and I'm like, it just frustrated me, and it kind of got my mojo out of sync in the next couple of races. I wasn't seeing things right. But then I realized, it wasn't my fault. I actually played the right horse. If that horse had a better trip, he probably would have been right there. So sometimes you just got to shake these things up. But sometimes you think there's a black cloud. You 2 or 3 races in a row, you have bad trips.
Yeah.
So always disagreeing about the horse. Like, oh yeah, I don't know what you're seeing in that one, but doesn't mean either one of us are right or wrong.
Why do you think the 4-horse La Tremenda is not getting any action?
Victor Barboza drops from a 35. Didn't really lift a hoof in either race. Had an excuse first time out.
But I mean, but first of all, the horse wants longer, and second of all, it was facing a 50 SOR group. It runs like a horse that's one paced. Look at her. If you look at her running lines in both races, just steady, not closing, not just steady. This always bodes well for a horse. As long as this horse gets a clean trip, and Jaramillo's aboard, he knows the horse now. This is the second. This horse doesn't. I don't think this horse wanted any part of going 5.5 on the synthetic. Look at the 35 GSR. Now is going longer. Is the EquinEdge long shot. In a tough race on paper, this horse is definitely getting way overlooked.
Okay. With that being said, if we were at the NHC and you mentioned this horse to me, it was the Friday, the first day, I wouldn't talk you out of that horse at 9-1. Yeah, I would think that horse's value. And in a race with a lot of unknowns, some horses trying to surface for the first time, stretching out. We don't know how the track's going to be playing. I've seen worse long shots, so I could see this horse.
I'm still with my note. I don't let my notes influence me too much, but this note is influencing me a little bit. Broke outward at the start from the 11 hole, came flying, barely lost, and I put a note, ran 10 lengths further than any other horse. Like, what was I trying to tell myself? Watch next out! ! Like, that's just not like me to put notes like that. So I have to I've got to play the 5, and I think the 7 will run good. I think the 4 will run good. I think the 10 can run good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 5 on top of 4-7-10 over 4-7-10. Then I'm going to do an exacta 5 over 4-7-10. So try an exacta.
Okay, since we're laying it out on the table, I'm on a 1-5 exacta box.
Oh, I got to throw your 1 in there too. Thanks for reminding me. Okay.
1-5 exacta box, and I'm boxing and I don't play triples, but and they're for entertainment denominations only. But I'm boxing a 1-5-7 try. Trifecta 5. And should I also point out, Gray Lark is also getting LASIX for the first time, a 2-year-old turning 3. So that's another thing. That could be in its favor. Yeah, it looks logical. We got IRAD. It's always overbet. It's going to be, but you also watch, because of such competitive racing tomorrow, Pegasus Day. I think it was last year, Scotty, or the year before. IRAD won like 5 races, and the average mutual was like $12.40. And I'm like, how often do you get that? So just keep an eye on sometime, because some of these races are so wide open. You have 6 or 7 contenders in these 12-horse fields, and in some cases you see horses that you may get a little overlooked on the board. So.
The thing about it is, David, with IRAD, I usually go into all the big days here in Florida with IRAD, looking to go. I first identify all the horses that I feel 80% he can't win. So then I notate that. I don't put which ones he's on. I'm like, IRAD cannot win this race. And then on every other one, IRAD's being used. That's it. Like,
right.
Period. Because he usually is going to win 4 to 5 races on a big card. Always.
Yep. And watch out for Jose, his brother, tomorrow. I think he's on a couple of live mounts who are pretty nice prices. So Jose, Tyler may have a good day tomorrow. I looked at the card. Yep. So, but watch out for and Junior Alvarado. Those are the guys I'm looking at.
But IRAD is the big money player. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Tiger. It's like, maybe he gets bored once in a while and he just plays. But when the big money's on the line,
yeah, big days
every time.
And I think more eyes are watching. A lot of these jockeys are cognizant of that.
Yeah.
You know, you want especially hey, we're playing almost every day as horse players, but you know, people who come out a couple times a year. Pegasus is a big day. You have a lot of stars there. You know, you get celebrities who will say, "Hey, that guy, or hey, Irad Ortiz, he's a fantastic." So you know what I mean? It's high-profile day. So you're right. Yeah.
So the 5-horse right now is at 2-1. I can't say that I'm surprised by that. I think the DE morning line's 2-1. Look at the 11-horse; it's 5-1. We haven't even talked about the 11 Diamond and Thrills as they're at the gate right now for this opener. What do you make of this horse? Like, it's getting bet into this tough group. Like Victor Barbosa, first time, who is 22% with
taking money.
horses.
Big jockey switch, Lasix on.
Yeah.
And the outside post on the Tapeta at going 2 turns doesn't really bother me. They're just horse taking sneaky money.
It is. It sure is.
20-1 off. 20-1 last time out. At the same level, going 1.70 miles.
Look where it's projected to be, though. Look where it's projected to be. It's one of the slowest horses in the race. Like it's gonna have to be way the best horse. I'm gonna be watching the 11 early to see what the heck what does Saez do? I just don't feel like that post draw in this particular race is a good one.
He might just swerve him over after the start to get a position in the mid-pack if he can.
Yeah, but he's still going to lose 3 or 4 lengths.
He's going to, right. I mean, it's inevitable.
So look, for me, if the 5 breaks good with Irad, who's now 8-5, by the way, getting late money, this horse just, in my mind, just needs to break good. But it's broke last and second last, and it's only 2 lifetime starts. We'll see what happens. Here is the opener at Gulfstream Park. It's going to be fun. Going to have a fun day today, David. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
And they'll be off shortly on the Tapeta.
Off the turf. There in the gate.
Good break.
Racing at Gulfstream.
Good break.
From the inside, Savvy Sunset gets the first call and looks for the early advantage.
And right behind the front runners.
In between horses
couldn't be any better.
The top flight, very wide around the first turn is Sublime.
Save ground, only about 2 wide on the first turn. And now showing a little bit of speed.
Moves all the way up into second.
As the jockey on the 4 is strangling the 4. And the 11 lost ground like we talked about. And
saving ground along the rail.
I don't like the 5 in between horses right now. I got to say, I don't like that. Your one's running very good.
I'm a little concerned about being on the lead, though. Thought he'd be a couple of lengths off that, but took advantage of the inside post. Why not? There's that 4 you were talking about.
Yep.
And the 5's right there.
She's racing in a joint third now, a length and a half in front of Maxine Magic. Moving out the rail, that splash dive, getting started on the outside, not one less, just ahead of her Trumpetta. At the rail goes Palmo, then Diamonds and Thrills.
4's already all out. Okay, well, this could come down to your 5 and my 5 and your 1, but here comes my 5. I mean, he's loaded.
To make all, Gray Lark.
Here comes the 7. 11's coming as well. The 7's going wide, which is going to force the 11 way wide. But 5 is dominating.
The one stopping.
Stuck in traffic, they're on their way home.
I would love this 7 to get second. Come on.
Let's get that 7 up for second.
Off the turn and the stretch drive, Gray Lark leads by a length and a half.
5 is shortening strides.
Yep.
On the far outside,
there's your 11.
From last. Dixie Escape is rolling.
45 to 1 is going to win this race.
And Thrills and Dixie Escape. Dixie Escape is gaining the upper hand. Last
wow.
to first. Dixie Escape springs the upset. Diamonds and Thrills.
Well, I will tell you this. I don't want to refer to other handicappers, but in this case I will because I've met this gentleman and he's a fine guy. Boom for Mike Welsh. He promoted this horse this morning.
The 6th horse, Dixie Escape.
Yep. He had him on top.
Mm-hmm. Wow, well, good.
Roddy Valente, New York. Actually, I met Roddy Valente on a plane coming back from Gulfstream. Hell of a guy, New York guy. Yeah, he can strike. That barn strike some long shots. This horse, if you looked, it hadn't lifted a hoof in either race. But if you look at 43 to 1 in the 25 level hop start, how do you come up with this horse stretching out? But
I mean, the only thing I can see here is that the horse broke 10 going 5 furlongs in the synthetic, and then only lost by 5 3/4 lengths. That's not easy to do. Like, you have to have some sort of ability. And then if you look at the GSR Plus grid,
at 5. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the lowest. The synthetic is the lowest, but wow.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there were so many unknowns in this race, and that's why Tapeta sometimes produces strange results. But yeah, either case, it would be a tough horse for me to come up with. I'm sure you also.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not. You can see the trouble, but a lot of horses have trouble. You know what I mean? So that's really tough.
Exactly. We can go 3 or 4 horses who are much lower odds who had trouble, especially the one horse. And again, it kind of confirms my opinion about the Tapeta. I don't really want to be in the lead on a Tapeta. So in retrospect, playing the inside post on a horse who comes out of a 5 furlong race showing speed may have been misguided. But at this case, I'm going to play closers going forward on this Tapeta track.
So the 8 horse for Barbosa was absolutely best. Like, if you watch that trip that it got, it's probably one to watch next time out.
The eight horse?
The 11.
Oh, the 11. Yes, Diamonds and Thrills, who you mentioned, was taking a ton of money off of 20 to 1. Was 20 to 1 in the last time at this level. Jockey switch, Lasix on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, amazing. 21%. Yep, exactly. But still not easy to find. Just altogether, that was a tough race. Wow.
It'd be a very tough race. And Tapeta, like I said, you're never going to be calling me Tapeta Dave, let's be honest. But, I wedged through it. But I prefer the Tapeta races that are carded tomorrow, I like. So, but some of these Tapetas, especially these maiden going 2 turns, is like it's a guessing game. And but, that's what happens when you take races off the turf.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony.
What's going on, Tony? Hey, Tony. It's not the EquinEdge community without Tony.
Absolutely.
Tony loves to fire.
Fire away.
A lot of fun. There's Oldie.
Hey, Oldie. I'm reading your note, Oldie. Good morning, by the way. I don't, I'm not. Can I form an opinion based on watching a bunch of Tapeta races the last 2 days? It just looked like it didn't matter what the fractions were. That I don't want to be on the lead personally, so we'll see how it goes. And sometimes you got to go with your conviction. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. Certain days you'll be right, and you'll be very successful. Other days you jump the gun and make too many conclusions. But sometimes it's better to make. With me, I just make a conclusion and go with it, and hope that I'm right. So no more speed for me on the synthetics today. You could certainly be right, Aldi. We'll see how it goes.
I was just looking real quickly to. Yeah, I got to stick with my conviction on this 4 horse in race number 3. I have to do it. It doesn't benefit yours to keep changing. It is a tough race, but all right, let's get to. We got Gulfstream Park race number 3, 4, and 5. We have to do. Did we finish Gulfstream Park 3?
I don't believe we finished 2. You're on the 2 Tal Bingo, and I'm on the 5 Blue Slide Park. Both prices, so we have to go to race 3. We didn't start.
Wait, hold on here. So we're doing races. Oh, okay.
2 through 5. Gotcha, yeah, we already did the 2 at
race number 3 now. Okay, gotcha.
Right, okay.
Now I'm back.
All right, you're back in action. So Gulfstream Park, race 3, 7 furlong, maiden 12-5 claimer for maiden fillies, 3-year-olds. And this is on the dirt. Yay.
I can't play Oaklawn, although it's really we've had a good meet there. That track, it doesn't always run true to form. It's just the same with Turfway Park. Even if we have a hot day on there, I just still can't play it. I just can't play it.
Yeah, Oaklawn, you might want to change your line of thought going into the NHC, because a lot of my good, decent price horses the last couple of years were from Oaklawn Park, and it's It's tough, but at least it's all dirt, which helps me.
So I like this. I like the stretch out here. Well, I can tell you, I'm all over Wink of an Eye. I think the Kathleen O'Connell trainee is the horse to beat. That was it dropped 10 points in SOR. It went up only a little bit in win percentage, and it barely lost. I looked at the other horses. On paper, it's a decent field, but I do think the one horse who's tactical is going to save ground on the inside, and I think Wink of an Eye is the horse to beat.
I agree with you, and I don't love the inside post particularly, even though at 7, sometimes inside post, you got to the lead on this Gulfstream surface, the main track. It could be speed favoring. But I'm going in a different direction here. Definitely a contender at 9-5, Luca Panici. I went to the outside post. I'm all over Game Energy. This horse drops way down in class from a maiden 35 to a maiden 12.5. What's the SOR? It's not such a drastic drop.
No, it's very drastic.
Yes, okay.
This is 16 points drop in SOR. It's about as gigantic as it's not just look at this is that. First of all, what people don't see, that maiden special, or they maiden claiming 35,000 last time out, came up as tough as the maiden special weight did the time before that at Tampa. That race, it must have been droppers into that race. So that was not an easy race. So that's why I love the SOR so much. Now look, this might be one of the biggest drops I've ever seen in these low ranked races, from a 50 to a 34. And look at the GSR. It's going up 22 points as well. So and the win percentage goes up. Honestly, you could talk me into the 7 horse easily.
Yeah, so it's the biggest drop down in the field. Blinkers on at this lower level. Tried Tampa first time out, to no avail. Then tried had two disadvantage, 2 bad posts. I mean, we had a 10 post at Tampa, which don't love going first time out.
Yeah,
and then the 1 post at 5.5. So and broke through the gate. So and it was only 5.5 furlongs, stretching out to 7. Now, based on those 2 performances, finishing 7th, losing by 21 lengths, and 8th by 13 lengths, maybe she just can't run. But I'll take the shot that she can run at 12.5 with blinkers on, maybe showing a little positional speed, and stalking the other speed here and taking over with down the stretch. So I'm going with 7 over the 1.
Zayas aboard says that she can run. That's what it says to me.
Second time, yeah.
Second time.
Especially at this lower level, right? The purse is only 25K. I mean, if Zayas' agent, if they thought this horse couldn't run at all, right? It's like plenty of jocks will pick up amount for this. There's plenty of apprentice jocks that would pick that up too.
So you're going with the 7?
I'm going with the 7. Game Energy.
Makes sense to me. I'll be right back.
Sure. Okay, so I'm on the 7 Game Energy, and Scotty's on the 1 Wink of an Eye in the 3rd race at Dream, that 12.5 maiden claimer. So I'll move on. I can't share my screen here with this the 4th race, but I'll start off with the 4th race. Go through it a little bit here. Chris, when that barn reaches for Zayas, they usually left. Yeah, and Zayas sticking with the mount with the horse 2nd time. It shows a little bit of confidence. So Scotty's back. So
okay, sorry. Yeah,
all right.
The 3rd time on, I called me. I'm like, okay, maybe there's an emergency, but she forgot.
Everything okay?
No. Yeah, she just forgot we had a show. All right, you're on the 7.
I'm on the 7 Game Energy for Murray Leitner.
I'm going to stick with the 1, but I'll tell you what, it's literally a 50-50. Maybe the chat can tell me what to do here. And what's the feel? What's the gut feel? I'll go with
Patrick's saying the 7 broke through last race. I tossed, so it broke through the gate.
Yeah. Chris says when they reach, I don't know what's the thing. I just need 5 people to tell me. I need 5 votes.
Chris is on my 7.
Chris is on the 7s. I need the 7 or the 1, you guys.
And he likes the 4 better than your 1 horse, Chris.
Oh really? Doesn't even like the 1. The 4 horse. The hell is going on? Oh yeah, I saw that horse.
Senorita Nomas.
Yeah, but that horse comes out of the same race as the one horse. I watched that video. The one horse was much better than that 4.
Mm-hmm.
Mike likes the 7. I mean, things can always turn around, but when I watched that race, it wasn't even close. They are shortening up in distance, but I think the 1 is better than the 4.
Yeah, it creates an interesting proposition here. Maybe one Friday we should do the show by majority rules. We'll just, whoever's participating will take a survey and take the highest number of
that's what I'm waiting for.
Participants. Yeah, there you go.
I could use some help with a decision here. I mean,
especially at Peter, you can have it.
Yeah, I mean, everything is point. Look at this: 75, 65, 22-point jump in GSR, David.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Right? Win percentage goes up 7.
I'm not really the one thing. Again, now we're only dealing with a 12-5 maiden claimer, so I don't really care about the breeding as much. But I'm not familiar with the sire, the breeding on this horse. Ever hear of that? I can't even see it. Tamara.
The sire on the 7 horse?
Yeah.
Hold on here. Let's see. Tunwad.
Tunwad.
Tunwoo.
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 Tunwoo. Okay.
Wow. The horse in 2018 ran 1 time, and they turned it into a sire.
That's why I never heard of it. Yeah.
Well,
makes sense.
Well, and I doubt it's doing any good. That's interesting. Somebody decided to make this horse a sire. And
maybe Scotty's off this horse now, so maybe I'm off this horse now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Tunwoo.
Right.
All right, I know I got to make a call. I'll figure it out. We don't have to wait on this, but 1 and 7.
Yeah, why don't you just flip? You can flip a coin.
Yeah, it's actually. I was trying to get some help from the group, but nobody's helping. GP.
He likes to like the 1 better. Price is 7. Chris likes the 7.
MK said the 1. Chris said the 7. Mike said the 7. I can't tell what Patrick likes. He just said the 7 broke through the gate last time out, and he tossed. But I don't know if he tossed it then or he's tossing it now.
Well, maybe everybody's going to toss it when I pointed out about that sire, Tunwoo. Right? So maybe we can all toss it.
And then Wiz says he likes the 6, which helps me not at all, Wiz. All right.
Finished second by a neck. The impression I get of the 6 is not really going to love 7 furlongs.
You do impressions?
Yeah, ba-boom. Jeez, you're right. You're sharp today, Scotty.
I know. All right, here we go.
I better be on my toes. I better be on my toes today.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think this is?
Yes. All right, 4th race at Gulfstream. Back to the Tapeta, 5.5 furlongs, maiden 17.5 claimers, 4 3-year-old maidens, straight up. Okay. And so I will tell you this. This is where. I'm sorry, Scotty. I didn't catch you.
2 is going to have an easy lead.
All right. This race, I didn't make a pick, I don't believe. I was just shaking my head, and I'm like, well, on the show tomorrow, we'll go over it. I'll go with the horse that I really, that my first reaction was to use, and I probably will stick with this horse. The 5, My Sergeant, second off a layoff. Second start on the Tapeta. Really didn't do any running last time out, but you got a trouble line again. It seems like I'm coming up with all these horses that have trouble lines today. Broken a tangle. So I guess you can throw that race out. Had blinkers on that first time, takes blinkers off, Lasix on, picks up Saez today, drops to a 17.5. So yeah, I'm not going to look too much more. That's the horse that I wanted to drop down. And the concern is I only see, if you can pull it up, I only see 2 works. That's a concern, but this is a cheap level. Don't have a lot of confidence. It's probably my least confident play on the feeders, but I'm going to go with the 5, My Sergeant in this spot.
My Sergeant, let's see here. So, yep.
How many? Oh, we have other works. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, there they are right there.
Okay, yeah, I apologize. Down here in Florida, I don't have my other laptops. Usually I'm working with 3 up north, so I just didn't have the room to travel with them. So I'm a little short-handed today. We got to go to Best Buy, Scotty. I'll meet you there. We'll buy a couple of new laptops.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. All right, let me get to the right spot here. Okay. Sorry, there I had a little bit of a technical issue. All right, so legacy mindsets. I got to see the 3 and 4 race and see if the lead horses are holding. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
3rd or 4th, see if the lead horse are home before I can say that too. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So look, Delgado claimed this horse for 17,500 off of D'Angelo. I've noticed that D'Angelo and Delgado claim horses off each other all the time. They're 2 of the best trainers that we have on this circuit over here in Florida. And going 5.5 furlongs. The horse, draws inside again, but did draw inside last time out. Was 40% to win. It didn't run a bad race. Trouble line. It was in between horses. I like that this horse was in between horses last time out. It's not in between horses today, but I was disappointed that Irad's not back aboard. But maybe Delgado likes this horse enough that he doesn't think he even needs Irad for this race. It is the top pick. The 8 horse Amen is another one that I face better horses in my mind. I watched this race last time out. I was between those horses.
Yeah, and tonight is going to be the 3 horse. If runs back to its last race off the claim, and even it is probably going to win this race. It looks like the fastest race in the field by far. But again, we have some drop downs who may wake up here. So, and I agree with you, Scotty. The 8 dropping down from the 35 level could be dangerous here. 5-2 morning line for Joe Orsino.
So Chris like the 9 a bit. Patrick has the 9.
First time starter.
Time starter. How's that horse working out? Anybody know how that horse is working out?
Blue got in.
Yeah, let's look at the workouts on this horse.
Looks like a pretty steady workout pattern. Got a couple of breezes, 47-1, 47-3, and then 48-3. I'd like to have a slower breeze before as close to the race as you get, closer to the race. But yeah, it's been working out okay. And again, a lot of these first timers, it's a guessing game, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it could have a chance here. I see your point, Chris.
Well, we didn't talk about the 2 horse, David. This horse is going to be on the lead. The only reason I'm not loving this horse is because it had an easy lead last time out and it just stopped. Right. And I just those are difficult horses to try to. It had everything going its own way. It was dropping in class, GSR going up. Everything was good. And this is the type of horse you're looking for when you're looking for a price, especially going 5 or 5.5 on the synthetic here. But the 3 is going to be tactical. I think the 3 is the horse to beat. I'm on the 3. You're on the 5.
Correct.
All right.
3 for Scotty, 5 for myself. Okay. Locked you in with the 3.
All right. 3 and the 8 is my second pick. All right. So we've got the Gulfstream Park race number 2 is coming up. So, okay, so we don't have any time because this starts the first leg. So we've got to.
Okay.
We need to get the.
Yeah. So we got to get this pick in real fast. Okay. So this is the 5th race. I'll just tell you, I have my pick in. I'm on the 1 Boston Rose. Dettori picking up the mount today from Van Dyke. The race had the outside post last time out, and the race declared no contest. Evidently, as I remember that race, there was a couple of horses checked to the jock go down, and they blew the horn. So that race is an entire throwout. This race is really wide open with the switch to the Tapeta. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I might be cooked here if this horse goes for the lead, but we'll see. But I originally picked the 1, so I'm sticking with the 1 here.
All right. So, saving ground on the inside with Dettori, first time. And, that on paper is just an absolute grab bag.
Right. And has 1 on the synthetic, had 2 wins in a row earlier in the year on the synthetic. So, obviously, the synthetic doesn't hurt this horse. and basically a stalking trip. But is it going to have to gun? Is Dettori going to gun this horse from the rail and have the lead going into the first turn? I don't know. I may not like that trip, but I'm going with it.
All right, I'm going with the one horse, Rachel's Song. 9-5 on the morning line. It's burned a little bit of money, but it's also won. It always runs good. It shows up first or second. I'll take my chances. It's been in the money in 7 of the 8 lifetime races. Only the first start where it broke last on the turf did it run bad. Legacy likes the 9 as well. I will say this: Tinky Abario is an interesting horse. I mean, this one's run really good, and its form seems to be super good too. This is the EquinEdge second pick for Ian Wilkes, who claimed the horse for $35,000, and he's protecting this filly, who's actually got 3 wins in 5 seconds and a third in 11 tries. She's super nice too, but she's stretching out. What do you think about horses like this, David? Because it looks like, at least when you look at the distance that the horse will prefer, it looks like a sprinter.
Looks like a sprinter, but does pick up Saez. Ian Wilkes has had 4 winners at this meet. So the barn is hot, had a really, really nice workout January 12th. But I think the surface change may hurt this filly a bit, because I think a mile might have been just her limitation. Now going a mile and 70 here. Oh, hold on. Are they? Oh yeah, they're going a mile and 70, or a mile and 16.
They're going a mile flat.
They can't synthetic. You can do a mile on a synthetic.
Maybe it's wrong. If it's wrong, tell me.
It says here the conditions of the race: if it would be run on the Peter course at 1 mile and 70 yards, if it was unable to run over the turf course. So I think it should be a mile and 70.
Let me send that.
Well, my point is, I think a mile and 70 may be beyond his horse, her limitations, but. Yeah, Chris just confirmed it's mile and 70. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, you guys.
Right.
I didn't even know that, so that's nice to know.
Yeah, okay. I just picked it up at the last minute. I'm like, it does say a mile, but again, it was scheduled for a mile on the turf. We do have, actually, I'm looking at the odds here. I'm surprised. The 5 horse is down to 7-2, taking money.
All right,
and Domingo is the favorite, 2-1.
So I'm
going
to go with the 9 horse, and the reason I'm going to go with the 9 is because it's 9-5 on the EE morning line, but and it's already proven at this distance. So and
fires every time out.
But it fires every time out. But Tinky Abario looks strong as well. What about the 2 horse, who's a horse to watch? Maybe a little class compromised, huh? Going on the synthetic for the first time. Yeah,
picks
probably.
Up by Irad though, so it's probably taking money. We figure it will take money.
Yeah,
it looks a little tough here. Yeah.
Yeah, I highly doubt they thought they were going to be running on the synthetic.
Synthetic, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a big drop in GSR. Here's a horse, Fantasy Performer. This is a fair long shot, by the way. This is a very fair long shot. Going on the synthetic, it ran 1 time on the synthetic, and I'm looking at the trouble line now. That race came off of a short layoff, had the 11 hole, was only 1% to win. It's a very interesting long shot, honestly. I love David Egan. I'm a fan.
Yeah, he's a good rider. I've seen him as first time last year, and I was impressed. And this horse is your closer, right? And it's very this was the other horse that I looked at, Scotty, in all honesty. And I'm leaning towards closers today, and I might be contradicting myself by going to the one horse, but this horse has a big shot. I think this horse will be flying at the end. If you look, the Peter race 3 back, had the 11 post, but it seems to be this filly's maybe improving a little bit with that second place finish at 22-1 last time out. But my question is, does she prefer turf rather than synthetic? We're going to find out today.
Well, what about the 11? This horse actually has a fine synthetic number. Dylan Davis jumps aboard, and this checked early, had trouble in its last 2 starts. Third race off the layoff. Dylan Davis, maybe it's the EquinEdge long shot.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen worse 10-1 shots, but the question is, can it handle a synthetic? Had a last 2 starts had trouble lines, and first on synthetic, it definitely has a shot.
Yeah. All right, where are we? All right, they're walking onto the synthetic right now, and
Patrick is on the 4 and Escape Room's another contender, Patrick. I looked at that last night. This horse has a number of trouble lines in the last 3, but seems to be right there. The last 4 starts, it's actually going back. This horse, when it loses, doesn't lose by much. So
did you see who's the favorite in this race? Did you see who the favorite is in this race?
I see the favorite, my friend. Yeah. I'm a little surprised, in all honesty, but maybe they know at that price, Scotty. They probably know.
I mean, look, if the 3 breaks slow, this is the lone speed. Good luck catching it. Oldie was talking about this a little bit earlier. The right speed, and I'm not sure what the right speed is, but I do get what he's saying. I just know when it's the right speed. But
right, I do understand what he's saying, I think, but I would still I definitely talk you out of this horse at 8-5 at the at the NHC. But good luck, everybody.
I mean, that's unexpected money, but let's see what happens here.
Like I said, I don't want any speed today on the synthetic, so we'll see how it goes. Good luck, everybody.
Off and running. Good start for the Chaplain with Talbingo from down toward the inside. These 2 race on.
So the 3 broke on top, and the 2 actually stumbled a little bit. So I think that if you played against the 2, you're probably in a good position right now, honestly.
Then Italian Symphony, the early trailer is
3's pushing the 2.
And they run around the first turn. It's Talbingo.
See what the fractions are.
Pressure from Chaplain on the outside. These 2 have worked 5 ahead of Billy the Greek, who settles down in 3rd. His barn buddy Breakout is on the outside in 4th. At the rail, Blue Slide Park is an on-hold 5th, 2 better than Italian Symphony, and Be There is last. They complete the opening quarter in 23-3. No breather for Talbingo as Chaplain keeps the heat on. Here comes the Safi duo.
Oh, there they go.
Here come the Safis.
They're both making mid-race moves.
The Safis are moving in.
The Greek, meanwhile, Breakout is up and around horses, and Talbingo has had no peace. Back to 4th now is Chaplain, 2.5 better than Blue Slide Park. He's biding his time in front of Be There and Italian Symphony. They went to half in 48-4. They leave the backstretch and move on to the 4 turn. Talbingo, he has the lead. Breakout is 2nd. Billy the Greek.
Be the right kind of pace.
Blue Slide
Be the right kind of pace.
Biding his time.
Pull away from them.
The white cap getting ready to
one time.
2.5 back.
There you go.
With Be There.
38. What's the third jockey trainer combination of what? 38%, David.
But he's still in front.
38%.
Like
all right.
In reserve here.
38%.
Not over yet, my friend. Not over yet.
30. It's done.
Good. Looking good. Look at this. They knew it. They knew it.
Done.
This field has done everything they could to get to Talbingo, but Talbingo had other ideas. Talbingo!
Bingo! Boom! We got a bingo for Scotty. Good call, and I apologize for talking you off of an 8-5 favorite who was morning line 8-1. They knew, and Aldi, yep, that was the right speed today. And maybe I'm a little misguided here with making a conclusion too early about speed.
Zen, was that a good pick or what? Yeah, you like that pick?
There you go.
Good job, Dad. That's what she just told me.
Good job.
You want to say hello? Huh? You want to say hello to everybody? All right, say hello. There she is.
There we go.
There she is. All right, that's a good way to start. That's a good way to start.
Good way. Boom.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now, do we have Aqueduct going off next, right? We have the first. We got 12 minutes. We got 12
We got some time.
Oops.
You want to start with one of the qualifiers, the first qualifier?
Sure. We have time.
No, okay. Well, let's start with the first one. Might as well. I've done 5 of them already, so let's go here.
Okay. Let me pull up my qualifiers here.
Okay, so the first one is going to be Santa Anita race number 1.
All right, you want to start Santa Anita? Okay, let's get the difficulty out of the way.
Let's do it.
All right, because I kind of worked backwards. Let me see what I came up with. So Santa Anita it's the first race, right?
Yeah.
So what do we have? 1 and 2 at Santa Anita, and then 5 and 6. Is that the way it works today?
And then I believe so. Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah, and this is I can't recall. We've been doing the show since what, April or May of this year, and I can't recall Santa Anita being the first qualifier, right?
No.
All right. All right, so we got a mile on the turf here. First race says Santa Anita, $25,000 claimers. None was a 2 lifetime. Got a lot of 1-fers here.
Let's run this thing.
Okay, wide open race.
Remember when we were talking about the 2 and the 8 horse who came in first and second there in that race at Gulfstream? We said, look at the jockey trainer combination. Even though Irad got off of the 2 horse, but he's probably had a tough decision in that race. He probably didn't know what to do in that race. It was close, and he made a call. And then come to find out, the 2 had a big advantage in the pace. Although the 3 pressed.
Yeah, the 3 pressed, but obviously the horse was so much the best, it didn't make a difference.
Well, then we looked at the mothers. The mother was best on synthetic.
Right, and you had pointed that out to your absolutely pointed that out.
All right. So, what are your thoughts in here? I like the 5 horse Auditory. So, go ahead and tell me what your thoughts are.
Let's lock it in. I like the 5 horse also Auditory. We're on mile turf. This horse, if you go 2 back, and its first try at a mile, at 22.5, same level. Had also faced Amelia Blue, who's the 7 horse in this race, and Amelia Blue had finished second, beat this horse by a bit, but Auditory had an excuse that they had a crowded start, so then dropped to 6.5 furlongs. Maybe this horse she prefers going a mile because without a crowded start, she might have been right there at 9-1. I think at 9-2 morning line, she offers some value. So in this spot. And I think there's a couple of horses that are a little cheap in here. So that's why I landed on the 5 Auditory. They're stretching out back to the mile distance today after trouble line 2 back.
Couldn't have said it any better. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Exactly.
Do you want to put those notes in?
Hey, by the way, too, Castellanos, which I don't know much about Adrian, but Adrian's a 14% jockey, and the jockey trainer combination with Steve Miotti is 30%, 3 for 10. So that's not bad. Nobody else is all that great in here. Amelia Blue, 23% with Campuzano and Franco. But and I do think the 7 horse is the horse you have to look at. I believe they come out of the same race as well, actually. The 11:29 race. So and the last race as well, for that matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the 2's been in 3 back on October 13th. They all face each other. And the 2's obviously another contender here. She's Splendid, I could see. So if you want to use She's Splendid, I think if you're going to use the 2, 5, or 7 here, I think you're going to visit the winner's circle. It didn't look like there was much other stuff in here. So sorry, the 8's got a shot too, but
look, a jockey trainer combination with Barrios and Polanco is 9%. I think you can try to beat this horse. I think it's getting overbet.
Okay. So
I don't think anybody in this race should be 4 to 5, honestly.
I agree.
All these things, take a look at his notes on this 4 horse at Oakland Park, race number 1. and Dynamis. It's this horse is the top win, top SOR, top GSR, and the EE top pick, and it's 37% to win. Look at the GSR. It's going from 59 last time out to 76. So it wanted no part of the synthetic. It's back on the dirt, and it goes up in win percentage. Everything you're trying to see. Look, it's going up. What is that? 17 points in GSR. It's going up huge. It's going up huge here in win percentage, and it's facing easier. This is everything that you want to see in a horse. And then here's all these notes. When the top EquinEdge pick and top win percentage, top GSR, top SOR, they win 50% of the time. So in this situation, they win 50% of the time. So wow, okay, return to dirt surface and 17-point increase in GSR, races significant drop in SOR, win percentage increases significantly, indicating horse is very live. Yeah, it's a great note. And
excellent note.
You know, right now you're getting 3-1. I think we have to look at the odds makers morning line on the 8 horse. Gluckstadt is 8-5, but we have it at 4-1, and it's 21% to win. Look at, and this horse draws outside. Let's look to see where it's going to be at the first call. Look where it's going to be in comparison to where the 4 is going to be sitting on the inside. That's a huge. It's definitely worth trying to beat this horse, this 8 horse. Even though we know it's going to be finishing, but that's if everything was perfect, and it doesn't look like this horse is going to get a perfect trip. So advantage to the 4 horse. And then when you look at the 1 horse, here's a horse that loses ground almost every time. And
the 1
it's facing similar. The GSR is the same. It lost by 10.5 lengths last time out. It does draw inside, and it's showing some tactical speed, but I just think the 4 is a better horse.
And I know Independent Paul. He's a Jacobson horse, correct? From he was on the Naira circuit for a while.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Goldie found a good one. I think Dynamis maybe is worth playing. Right now, 7-2.
7-2 works for me.
We have 6 minutes before this race at Aqueduct that we need to go to. So why don't we listen in on this? I'll give you my best play-by-play. Are you okay with that?
I am fine with that, my friend.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, let me go get a drink. I'll be back in a minute to just in time to make my race call.
Okay.
All right.
Non-alcoholic beverage?
Non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic beverage. Okay. I got a little problem here with my feed on my ADW. Something is not working with the video, so I can't pull up Oaklawn here. I don't know what happened. Did I lose internet? You're still with me, right? Yep. Okay, I'm still here. Let me just try to, can't watch any video here. Let me try to, I apologize while I try to reboot here. Let's see, Oaklawn. 0 minutes to post. So let me, oh, okay, it's back. So we've got Dynamis at 3-1 with the Asmussens. Second choice here, I'm sorry, the first choice is Gluckstadt on the outside. The 8 horse is the morning line favorite, currently 9-5. And we got Independent Paul at 3-1 and Dynamis at 3-1. I also thought was taking a look at Candy Corn, the 6 at 5-1. But I'm going to watch this race and root for Oldie's horse, Dynamis. And the Scotty top pick horse I'm on. I will just root. And I'm looking at Aqueduct before we go there just quickly to get an update on the odds. And at Aqueduct first race, the favorite is That's the Fact Jack. Makes sense, 3-2. My Angels, second choice at 3-1. And Sherman's Marlin, surprisingly taking money down to 5-1. So maybe the Chatino Barn knows something also on their other entry there. So but let's go back to Oaklawn.
Well, the 8 broke really nicely. So, and the 8 went off at 7-5. But you couldn't have done any better. But I mean, the horse had to be asked a little bit to get in that position, but I don't think he had a choice. So we'll see if it cost him late. But the 2 horses in the front right now. Thanks, Frank. Who's 13-1, top pace number. And 4, Oldie's horse is sitting in a good position in second. but getting a little bit pressed from the 5 horse, big long shot at 15-1, point blank, which is forcing the hand of the 4, which only helps the 8 horses sitting in 4th right now on the outside in a good position. 23-4 first quarter, yeah. So now the 4 is in between horses. Honestly, give me the 8 horse right now.
Yeah, I'm probably about a minute behind you.
So the 2 horse is losing ground and done. Now the 4 and the 5 are doing. The 8 sitting in 3rd, about 3 lengths back. He's not all out. 4's pulling away from the 5 right now and taking all this pressure. Come on, 4. Can you really fight all this off? Maybe. I think that the 8's going to be coming, and you're going to have to fight off the 8 late. Let's see what happens here. But 4 is in the lead right now by about 3 lengths over the 8. 5 is slowing down. Race between the 8 and the 5 and 4 right now. But 4 looks gone. 2-1. Good call, Oldie. Good call. 8's going to be 4 is going to win after all that pressure in between horses, pressing. Wow, how much best with the 4?
Good call, Aldi. Boom.
4, 8, 5. 4 wins by about 5 lengths, 4.5, 5 lengths in the end. Nice call, Oldie. Wow, that was impressive. Good job.
Good one. Yeah, beat the 7-5 favorite. That's always nice.
Yeah, 4, 8.
Way to go.
Those were the EquinEdge picks as well. Kaboom. There we go. Nice job. Good job, Oldie.
Way to go, Oldie.
All right.
All right, so we're loading. Now, I would probably, again, for some reason, my feed here, especially down south, it is really way behind you. So sometimes when you say they're off, and I wait like 30 seconds, and they're still loading in the gate, and then they're off. I don't know why that happens down here.
Oldie, we need more of those, okay?
It's my only cash ticket of the day.
There we go.
Now, Chris, I think the horse that we both liked in one of the feeder races is definitely going to win. So I think maybe you may have 2 winners. We'll hope.
I honestly would have thought that the 4 was done after that. I mean, the 4 took the worst of all that. Getting pressed in between horses. Then the 5 horse, the long shot, just pressing the hell out of the horse on the inside. Jockey stayed calm, obviously realized he had a lot of horse. The 8 horse was just sitting beautifully. But it's kind of like I said early in the call, David, and that is, you're on the outside post, you have to make a move. The jockey decided to use the horse up to get into position, and he did a nice job. What else was he supposed to do?
Right.
He's going to be too far back if he doesn't. And so, but either way, you have to look at that post position, look at the track diagram, and see where they're starting. And I think we realized that maybe the 4 had a better chance of winning, considering the post position of that 8. And it's not just the post position; it's the horse's style. Is he a front runner? Does he have enough speed to get in position early from that post?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah,
that's where the race simulator comes. That's where the first and second call of the race simulator is so important.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I have to tell you, based on some of the speed metrics I've seen on other products in the past, this is definitely is superior. No doubt.
All right.
All right. So we got Aqueduct.
Horse.
I'm on the 6.
I'm in first place right now on the feeder.
You bastard, you. Okay, good deal. Congratulations.
There was only.
Are you right there on the top? That they have Scotty McKeever?
This is only my second feeder. I always play qualifiers.
And I realize I'm not on that feeder. I apologize. I made the picks for the feeder, but I took my feeder selections and played the feeder for the Pegasus tournament today. Figured, what the hell? Might as well. So I'm already played the qualifier for the NHC. So I figured, well, let me switch it up a little bit. Try to get maybe another seat for that Pegasus tomorrow.
All right, Aqueduct. They're going into the gate for race number 1. Remind us who you're on.
I am on My Angel, the 6, and Scotty's on the 5. That's the Fat Jack, but I'm still scared of the Sherman's Marlin. I don't trust Shatino's barn.
Just in time for all the action. You're missing all the action, Dave. I don't know if you saw any of it, but glad you made it.
Yes. Hello, Dave. You missed all the action, but don't worry. We got about another 2 hours of action to go.
Yeah.
So I'm sure something else will be fun going forward.
Sylvain in the house too. Okay.
Sylvain.
Here comes the EquinEdge community. Here got more of us.
All right, here we go, boys.
All right, 5 broke good. They all broke good.
The 5's still loading in the gate.
Yeah. No, right now the 5 and the 6 are dueling. That's a little bit what I was afraid of. Is your horse is putting pressure on my horse.
Yeah.
Early, and advantage your horse honestly, because your horse has got quality too. But 5 is feeling that pressure. In fact, the jockey on the 5 is kind of backing off a little bit.
They're going to set it up for the 2. It's a speed duel purposely to set it up for the other part of the entry. Okay.
Nah, that 2 horse has no chance in this race. 6 is pressing. What a smart move.
All right, they're finally off.
Good luck catching this 6 horse. 2 is going to be last. Not even part of this. 6 is being asked. 5 is trying. Here comes the 3. Going to have to go outside, but the 3's coming. But I think this is between these our 2 horses again, David. And you know what? It's going to be close.
Uh-oh.
Come on. Don't you let David beat us. Don't you let David beat us.
They're turning for home now on my feed.
Don't you let David. I got you, David. I got you.
You got me?
I got you.
Shoot. Yo, you're on a roll today. I'm looking at my feed. They're coming down the stretch. The 6 has about a 2-length lead, and the 5 out on the outside. Here we go. I know the results already, so it's taking a little of the drama away. All right, well, I got a place. So what did I say? It was a 2-horse race. I took the, yep.
We like listening to you anyways, David.
All right, Jack, that's the fact. Jack has finally broken the maiden. So move on to face winners.
Listen, look at 47% to win. 7-5 EE morning line. Top EquinEdge pick. It's the top pace, top win, top GSR, lowest EE morning line, top pick. Those horses win 44% of the time on average. This one was 47% to win. For a negative 8% ROI. But listen, that's not bad. This horse went off at 3-2.
Right, 3-2, and the second choice ran second. And you know, I did think it was a 2-horse race. The 2 did scare me only because it's Chatino. You have 2 horses entered from the same barn. It's inevitably something screws up, and you're like, "What are they playing games here?" But no games played.
Look, Manny Franco trying to put pressure on our girl Katie Davis, and she responded and said,
"Yes, she did.
You will not do this to me, Manny."
Yes. Congrats, Katie. Probably one of the best guests we've ever had on down the stretch run on Saturdays. It was a lot of fun having her on. So her energy level is just infectious. After interviewing her, I was kind of in a bad mood before I started the day. I found myself smiling the rest of the day. That's infectious. She's really fun. I wish her all the luck. I mean, she's improving, and I hope she gets up to close to the Dylan level. And she's got a lot of ability.
The 1 horse looking for Granny got up for second or third, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And so all chalk. You know what though? Because the 1 horse looked competitive on paper, because the 6 horse looked competitive on paper, we ended up getting 3-2. That's not bad.
That's not bad. No. It's where it's bad is 3-5 or 2-5. You know, I don't want to. That's when I basically bail on a horse if it's too low.
Oldie's absolutely right. If people in horse racing would just understand marketing at all, they would grab some of the best personalities. Because Katie's a better than average jockey, absolutely. And I mean, look what she just did there. Manny Franco put all the pressure on the world on her, and she did not panic. She let him go, drifted over, got to the outside, bam. Done. Yeah,
and she won for me on a 40-1 shot last week in the last race at Aqueduct for me and Steve Bick. So she's on a roll.
All right, we've got Gulfstream Park coming up in 7 minutes from now, and why don't we do another qualifier? How do you feel about that?
You want to go to Santa Anita race 2?
Let's go to Gulfstream Park 7. Mix it up a little bit.
Okay, wow, you're really throwing me a curveball, my friend.
Yeah,
Huh?
I
Let's
know,
see.
but I have a play.
I'm gonna be freaking out in a minute. Hold on a second. I gotta get my notes organized. All
I
right,
actually have
Steven
a,
Trade. I'm
I
only
have a,
kidding you. Yeah.
I have
I
a
got my picks
positive,
all in already.
I have a positive ROI for you. In the 9-horse Beach Gold, top win, top GSR, and EE top pick. These horses are sneaky. They get in there and they win. And this one showed some speed against better horses last time out. The win percentage goes up to 27%, same GSR. And I think this horse, I hope that they're going to set a little bit. This horse can actually rate a little bit. And I think David Egan is going to give this horse a nice ride and can get from that post no problem. Sit. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see him go to the lead. I want to see him just sit a nice trip. I honestly, though, on paper, I think the horse to beat is Chiao Chuck, the EquinEdge second pick. But and this one's going to probably send for the lead. But this, if one of those two horses doesn't win, then you're looking at an absolute grab bag.
Yeah, and Scotty, I'm not a big fan of. I can't support the 9 Beach Gold. I've seen these horses like this with this profile: a 7th, a 3rd, a 2nd, a 5th, a 3rd, a 3rd. These horses, this horse just does not look like it wants to get the job done. So I would be more confident in 9 if it was dropping down to a maiden claimer. So I'm going to look elsewhere here, and so I think you got to take a look at Pletcher's horse, the 3 Tuscan. But the bottom line is that this is now on synthetic. I think Tuscan would have been better suited to make his first try on the turf out of Constitution. So I'm gonna pass on that. I think the 1 is the Shadwell Stable for Brendan Walsh horse. First try on synthetic was not bad, but I don't love the post at this point. Maybe we'll get the lead here, the 1, but I got a tricky horse I came up with here, and I'll acknowledge it's for a very cold barn, but I think they could break the ice today, and that's with the 5. It's Bourbon 30, Jeremiah Dwyer. Off a long layoff, but if you look at the March 23rd debut race at a mile and a 16th on this synthetic course, was primed to go 2 turns. It was stalking trip all the way around and finished a decent 3rd at 50 to 1. Then went back, was stretched. I cut back a little bit in distance to a turf race, showed speed before it supposedly bumped at some point. I didn't watch a replay, and then tired a bit and finished 5th, only beaten 3 lengths. A long layoff, been working steady. Gelding first time does concern me because I think our stats that we've referenced before, it's very slim success with first time geldings, but I'm on it. Let's go. First time gelding. Off the layoff, getting back on Tapeta at a price 6 to 1. I think I'm totally against the 9 here, Beach Gold.
Okay. How do you really feel?
Okay, there you go. You got to have conviction in this game. You start wavering, being wishy-washy. You don't know what to play. So, to me, that's my best angle there. Just go with your gut.
And what do you think of the 7-horse Chow Chuck?
Chow Chuck's a contender. Dropping down from maiden, but the problem is no synthetic form.
Okay. And the EquinEdge long shots or Magistrate, the 4-horse?
Really long layoff, too much of a time interval for me, and Mott usually is better 2nd or 3rd time out, in my opinion. So it's a horse I would pass on.
He's 20%, believe it or not. He's improved. He's in 262 samples, 20% off the layoff. Not bad.
This is, though, I agree, but this is a 13-month layoff. I mean, it seems like it's horse may. I'll give this horse a race.
Okay, so when you're looking at this 3-horse Tucson, who Dave said he's considering strongly, what do you make of these workouts? I guess they look fine. I mean, they're
good.
Not.
Hey, listen, this is IRAD's on it. It's going to be overbet, but I would have loved this horse on the turf. But on synthetic, I can't. Again, on the synthetic, the horse may be just affected. This is a $1.3 million purchase. Keeneland September sale, 22. So, this horse could be any kind, but Turf, I would have loved this horse, but I'll give it a shot with a longer priced horse on the
This
EPG.
field, when you're talking about Pletcher, let's look at the GSRs. This field did not come up all that tough. It really didn't.
No, it did not.
And so you're talking about the championship meet, and this time of year, you get into a maiden special weight, and you're dealing against monsters, and that you're not really seeing that here. So
it's interesting,
you know what I mean?
too. And I noticed that too with the first. There's a good allowance race for maidens in the second race tomorrow at Gulfstream. But last year, the first race was a bang up key race. It didn't look like there was a lot in there this year. So I don't know what the reason is why that.
What do you make of the 10 horse? Because I noticed that it was the EquinEdge long shot, but it changed to the 4. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I know Sardis because he started out his career on the New York circuit and then went back to Aqueduct. I was on him a couple times. I'm off. That's it. We've gotten a divorce, myself and Sardis. This horse has had many chances and just looks like the profile of the 9 horse. But you are getting a price. So at 12 to 1 morning, if you can get 8 or 10 to 1, and it's all about risk reward, right? At that price, it may be worth a shot here. Maybe worth a small bob.
All right, so you're going with the 5 horse.
5. It's Bourbon 30,
who's only 2% to win on the numbers. But you're absolutely right. I mean, if you look at the race, its first start of what it did, only losing by a length and 3/4 at 1%. Then it went to 3% on the turf and ran good. Absolutely, this horse deserves a long look. Yeah, I mean, it's just on paper a wide open race. I don't think, if the 3 horse Tucson's going to get beat, it's going to be maybe in this synthetic race, right? This is the race. This race was taken off the turf, correct?
This race was originally carded for the turf, and based on the workouts and the price paid for this horse, and again, Pletcher said we got to get this horse rolling, so let's stay on. And the horse could win on the Tapeta, but I don't think this horse is going forward is meant to be a Tapeta horse. Obviously, this is a turf horse.
Yeah.
And if you get a decent second or third and a good effort, losing by a couple of lengths, I'm sure the connections will be very happy moving forward and waiting for a drier turf to get back on a turf. Yeah, I'm hoping, Scotty, that this horse, the 3, doesn't run a lick and finishes like 8th or 9th, and then reappears in about 3 weeks, and everybody's like, "Oh, that horse can't run," and then I'll be all over it because that's my move. Didn't show much form on a different surface, bred up the yin yang for turf. $1.2 million Pletcher and the connections and the $1.2 million purchase the horse won't be that long of a price, but you'll get better than today probably.
Well, it's going to have to run a lot better than it did in its first start. It really, it wasn't really even meant in its first start. That's interesting. I mean, 5 to 1, so it was only 9% to win. Redemption Spite, the 6 horse. Do you give it a look?
Coming from Indy, probably cheaper there. Yeah, I'm not interested.
No, it's not the worst looking horse in the world. I mean, and then somebody in the chat brought up the 8 horse here. This was not a bad effort on the turf. It was a maiden $35,000 goes on the synthetic, but I mean, huge drop on the GSR. It's interesting that Javier Castellano jumps aboard. What a
he hasn't been getting a ton of mounts recently. I'm not sure he's,
Here's an interesting horse. We haven't talked about, honestly. You know what?
I'm the one got shot.
Yes. Look at this. So that was a 54 SOR group. Gaffalione. I'm going to be looking even more for Gaffalione, honestly, to retire tomorrow. The guy is such a good jockey.
Yeah.
And you could, because you've got such big jockeys out there. But look at 16% on this one horse. It was 11% last time out. GSR is fine. It was a 54 SOR group. Today's easier. I'm changing up to the 1.
Okay, that was going to be. I had that circle around that horse, but obviously a contender, and I love the workout on December 13th before the previous race. But again, this is a horse that I might prefer on the turf again. But yeah, that would have been my second choice in here, the 1.
Barrio.
All right, so here in race number 3.
From the outside, Game Energy will complete
I've got the 7, and you're on the...
I ended up going with the 1.
The 1. Okay, let's see if you can go 3 for 3 here, Scotty.
Let's see if I can go.
Good luck, everybody.
All right.
Scotty's on the 6 to 5 shot. I'm on the 4 to 1. Oh, so I can watch a race live in tune with the rest of the group.
They're off. NVIDIA was away well with Game Energy. The first 2 out were the outside 2. With
so 7 got the lead from that outside post.
Maka Barrio splits horses. Wink of an
I'm
eye
liking
in
it.
the red colors. Third last. Second last, JJ's Honor. The early trailer.
I don't
is
think the
Shibuji.
jock really wants to be on the
Racing
lead.
down the backstretch, it's a tightly knit field, moving between horses. NVIDIA for a head in front. Game Energy is second, ducking over to the inside. Maka Barrio races from third. Wink of an eye guided off the inside by Panici. She's in between horses now. At the rail, Senorita No Mas. Out 3 wide, JJ's Honor. And Shibuji's the one well at the back. The opening quarter was.
He does seem to be loaded, but he's in between horses, but the 1 does seem to be loaded.
And move on to the far turn. Game Energy,
he needs to stay patient is what he
NVIDIA
needs to
between
do.
horses. Maka Barrio along the rail. In between horses is the
and there's a hole for him right now if he's good
enough.
enough.
There you go.
JJ's Honor is wide. Senorita No Mas needs rare room to work, and the trailer is Shibuji.
But the 7's pulling away.
Energy. They're under the top of the stretch with the class drop.
2-horse race again, David. You and I.
There you go. You've been beating me today.
Back mode second, dropping back a bit is NVIDIA. Angled off the inside, Senorita No Mas. Off the turn and the stretch drive. Gave Energy. She has the lead with work to do. Wink of an eye. Charging to challenge and with fresh legs down the center.
Well, I'm going to have to hold off the 4 on the outside.
4. Yeah, you're going to have to. I'm done.
Gain the upper hand. Senorita No Mas runs at her from the outside. Game Energy fighting hard toward the rail. Wink of an eye just in front, and Wink of an eye will win it. Senorita
there you go, Scotty. Scotty's on fire today with his chalk.
Yeah, that's why I'm winning.
That's why you're winning.
We'll take it. We'll take it. All right, Wink of an eye. Getting the win. Pretty sure I did switch to the. Yeah, I did. I used the 1.
Yeah, because you were wavering at one point. So
I was. I thought the 7 was a fair pick. I mean, everything. There was just something about the 7 I couldn't fully commit to. But but look at that 4-horse that got second was the EquinEdge long shot. How's that? Oh, we did talk. Somebody in the chat talked about that 4-horse too.
That is correct.
Yeah, and then hey, okay, Tony had a $2 pick 3 and it paid $12.86. Wow, let's go.
Nice, yeah. Let's get it rolling.
Nice.
All right, let me just check this. I want to see here. I'm checking the board here. Quick early bird. What is this? Oh, here we go.
Okay, Mike. Oldie's Oldie left for a little bit as well. Wow. Okay, that's 3 for 3.
Scotty McKeever is what's going on here? $18.20. You are tied for the leaderboard. You are absolutely on fire. So let's see if you can. Well, you can chalk it out. The next 2 races.
That race is not official yet.
I know. But going into this race,
going into that,
yes. Now the favorite one. So you'll have the lead. Then you need to. You've got 2 favorites coming up in a row, and then you'll have a nice price in the 11 public defender. So you're looking in really good shape, my friend. So you're going to save a couple of dollars today, it looks like.
It looks like I might have 2 entries. I already paid for 1 qualifier. Okay. So it looks like I could end up having 2 entries. That'll be nice.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
You know, this is only the 2nd feeder I've ever played.
Yes, you're not big on the feeders, right?
No.
So,
it's not that I'm not. I don't have the patience, to be honest with you. I should.
And it's only 6 races, but, you know, the way I look at it, it's like might as well try to save. It's more, to me, the feeder's a little more valuable, in all honesty, for the $165 ones or the 210. The 210s I like because it's a $25 feeder. And so if you can get in, you're saving almost $200 if you get in on the feeder rather than a qualifier. If you save $200 once a month, you know, you're talking about $2,400 a year, and that could be a difference in your ROI at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
Or at least me.
For sure. The 7 ran good. Absolutely ran good. Was a little scary.
He got tired late.
We always talk about those wide posts as well too.
I know.
Right. And the 7. A lot of times people don't give it enough credit because they're on the straightaway, but when you're wide like that, it seems to it seems to take a lot of energy out of a horse as well, right?
Yeah, I think on the main track, I'd rather be closer to the rail or like middle and in, right? I agree with you on that main track.
I want to say post 1, 2, and 3 going one turn on the dirt at Santa Anita or at Gulfstream. I believe the 1, 2, and 3 post win like 40% of the time, maybe even more. It might even be higher. The one pays 460 and 280, so that's not bad. I'll take that. Senorita Noma's paid $5 and Game Energy paid $3.40 for a third. The Exacta 1-4 paid $9.30. But look where it's at. Look where it's at here. The Trifecta for 50 cents paid $43.95 for that short field and favorites. That's pretty amazing.
Right. And if you're like me who didn't like the 6, to me, I would throw that horse out. That would be your triple, and the 3 logical horses to get $43. That's a good one.
Yeah.
147. Because if you look at it, wink of the eye, in the last race, beat the 4 Secret Senora Nomas. So then the 7 was with the big drop down was the other logical horse. So pretty easy triple to come up with. Did I come up with it? No. It's pretty easy. Hey, Mike.
What's going on, Mike? How are you? We've got okay. Aqueduct race number 2 isn't part of the feeder, correct?
No. So Aqueduct race 2 is not part of the feeder.
Okay.
It's 1 and 4 or 1 and 3. Did we play?
Let's see how I'm doing right now. So right now it looks like there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us that are 3 for 3. Yeah.
There you go.
All
right. Let me pull it up here. I'm gonna check out your leaderboard.
Nobody I know, actually.
Let me see. Mitch Schumann. I know Mitch.
You know Mitch?
I know this guy, Scotty McKeever, 2-time NHC qualifier.
Yeah.
Scotty, I think they call him Scotty Pick 6, and also the PWCBC winner, something like that.
You know, one of the first tournaments I ever entered was the Pegasus. I don't know, probably 7 years ago. No, maybe not even that. Maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Anyways, it was, and I got third. I almost won that thing. You know what happened to me? So you know how you have to put your bet slips in those machines. I hopefully this will make sense. I'll try to explain it really good. I put $2,000, or I think it was, to win on a horse, and at the very top left, you have to push confirm wager. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Instead, down below where you exit, I pressed the exit button.
Oh, shit.
True story. In that tournament. I only lost by like $3,000, something like that.
That's in the first Pegasus you played?
That was in the first Pegasus I played.
Wow. Yeah, and I have to tell you, it's happened to me too. I remember my worst, as horse players too, sometimes we remember our worst beats or just near misses more than our big wins or big payouts. Obviously, with me, it's a little different story because of the NHC. Nothing's going to top that for me. But I did remember but Saratoga was at the Cottage last year, and I loved the horse. It was $18 horse in the last race, and I put the bet in. We had people over, and I hit my laptop, put it in, and I walked away. They were watching it later on TV. I'm like, oh yes, he's coming down the stretch. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a nice balance in my ADW. I pull it up the next morning. I'm like, what the hell happened? What's going on? I never hit the you got to confirm button, and I guess I was distracted with people talking to me, and I just thought I did, and you could see that it was not good.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And then I got third, which I was super proud of. There was like 200 and something people in that tournament.
Oh yeah.
And then I lost second by $100.
That is.
I mean, yeah, of course you look at the positives, but it's hard not to look at the what ifs,
Yeah, that'll be interesting tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and then of course I won the tournament. I went 2 or 3 years ago, and so
all right, maybe has there been a repeat Pegasus winner?
I don't think so.
I know there's been a repeat British BC, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll do well.
I hope so.
Hopefully we'll both do well. If one of us is first and the other one is second, I don't care if it's 1 or 2. I just need tour points.
So I think we should go to Aqueduct race number 2 because I like a horse. I think that the 4 and the 5 are the 2 horses. I will say that, and they're 3-1 and 2-1. The 4 horse Steel Vengeance faced much better horses last time out.
Scotty, I got to do a charge. I'll be right back. I'm going to lose you.
Go ahead. So, anyways, Steel Vengeance is this horse is a horse to watch. Top win, EE top pick, 31% to win, 5-2 right now. But it did face better horses, and there's some cheap speed in the race as well. And I think we can beat the 5 possibly. It's the EquinEdge second pick, 4-5 EE morning line, because there is some speed with the 1 and the 2, which I think are cheap speed, and the 5 horse needs to be forwardly placed. And I really do think that the 4 horse sits a nice trip. And then the other horse that's interesting is the EquinEdge long shot. Jay says no joke. It's a first time starter. So if the race does fall apart, then here comes the 4 horse. Here comes the 3. And I honestly didn't have a strong opinion about the 6. Mixed feelings about it. I really couldn't. I didn't read it very well. So I don't know. But I do think that the 3 horse, the first time starter, is 5-1 on the E morning line and 20% and EquinEdge long shot. Well, I don't think we can fully ignore that horse. And then but I do really like the 4 horse Steel Vengeance, at least of the horses that run.
I'm glad you have an opinion, Scotty, because if this race was NHC when I was doing my plotting the day before, I would have put a huge X through this race. I have no interest in playing this race.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
In all honesty. So I'll let you guys dictate. Maybe somebody will convince me to make a play. But I would say, I mean, I think the 2, 4, 5, 6 are, I can't, even the 1, I can't separate any of these horses.
I like the 4 horse a lot. And I'm looking at the 4 horse right now. Makes a nice appearance on the track. Looks very good. And then Dave's saying that the 4 horse is training very good. There's a best of 27 bullet. 7-2 right now on the 4. What I was saying, David, is the 5 horse is very fast and seems to need the lead for its best, but the 1 and 2 are fast. So I'm thinking, and then the 4 is going to be sitting probably 2, 3, 4 lengths back at most. And then the speed could stop, and then it sets it up for the closers like the 4 and the first time starter maybe, as well as the 6 horse. But at 7-2, I think the 4 is worth a bet.
And the 2 is a money burner. So that's probably the first horse I'd eliminate. But yeah, I don't really have an opinion in all honesty on this race.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll do my best play-by-play. We have a little bit.
Since I'm about 5 minutes behind the actual race, I'll just listen to you.
Got it. Fairgrounds race number 1 is coming up, and Justin's been on fire with his notes. You might want to take a look at that. We've got Gulfstream Park race number 4 that continues. We've got Gulfstream Park or Aqueduct 3, Gulfstream Park 4, and Gulfstream Park 5 to finish off the feeder as they're loading into the gate over at Aqueduct. So I'll leave it here on Aqueduct for you. Again, I'm on the 4 horse who just got bet from 7-2 down to 5-2. David says that the 2 horse at 5-2 is a money burner. The 1 is fast. The 2 is fast. The 5 seems to need a lead. And it's the wagering has been going back and forth. So
yeah, the wagering public views this race like I do. It's just a head scratcher.
But I'm on the 4 over the 3, the first time starter. But I like the 4. All right, 1 more left to load in the gate. That's the 6 horse on the outside. And
they're just leaving the paddock right now with me. Yeah.
All right, the 3 horse, the first time starter, is losing its mind right now. That's not a horse I would bet no matter what happens. If you can
who's losing his mind?
The 3, the first time starter.
Oh, the Wayne Potts firster. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now they're backing the horse out, and they might bring it back, but I don't want to talk anybody off anything, but I can tell you that I'd be taking my bets off that 3. So there's the track vet who's looking around. The horse is nervous. I mean, you can see that. And she's looking and says, okay to get up. So the 3's going in. Clearly see that the 3 souvenirs, as Dave Weaver would say. My horse is running probably in a couple of weeks, Tony. He ran 4th against a really tough group. A lot of big-time Fletcher and Brown horses. All right, here we go. We'll try it again. 3's back, and they're going to open this gate up fast is what they're going to do. Yep. And 4 broke good and trying for the lead, actually.
I got the 3 still loading in the gate.
Yeah, no. The 4 horse is in second behind the 1 right now. And the 5 horse, Melancia, is in third. The 2 horse is ranked on the inside, neck and neck with the 5 for third. But 4 horse, nice job by the jockey breaking that horse good out of the gate. Five is under a big shove right now.
I still have the 1 on the lead. Did the 1?
One's on the lead right now. The 4 horse is coming to its outside. The 5 horse seems to be struggling. 6 is back in 5th place. 4 taking the lead over the 1 right now pretty easily around the turn. 2 seems to have a little horse. Its head's a little rank up in the air. 4 is not changing leads, but 4 is on the lead right now. It's the 4 and the 2. 6 is coming late. 5 is done.
The 6 is flying.
Came to the rail and cut off the 2. And 4 is going to hold off here, but there's going to be an inquiry. It's going to be 4-2-6, but there will be an inquiry.
He cut him off.
He seemed to
rounded the turn.
He did a little bit further from the turn. He came in. Jockey did not do a good job controlling the 4.
Oh, I see. I just saw it now.
Yeah. And I imagine there's going to be an inquiry. They're showing the replay right now. And the 4 is in front of the 4 just keeps coming in. And I mean, he's in front. I don't know. It's not a foregone conclusion that they would get rid of this 4 here.
I don't think you have to look at the head on. I think that obviously that'll show a lot more. Okay.
4-2. You know, if I'm trying to think, if you were a steward, would you bring down the 4?
I'd have to look at a head on, Scotty. I didn't really get a good view of it. And the head on won't be available for another 20 minutes on my feed here. So it'll be all settled by the time I can look at it.
Yeah. Jose Lascano, you know, I don't know. I don't know if you could put it on him, but he's hitting right-handed. The horse is getting tired, and he's shying away from the stick. Then he goes. He does come in now. He is a little bit clear of the 2, to be fair, but he definitely cut the 2's momentum off. Well, he didn't see anything, or no inquiry. Really, maybe not. So far, no.
You know, I just looked at a replay. It looked like the 2 was just a little hesitant to go up the rail. So I think that was the issue rather than the 4 interfering with the 2. I just didn't want to go up that rail.
Wow. Well, that's 4 for 4 for me. Why wasn't this part of the? Right?
Should have been the qualifier.
I know. Or the feeder, for that matter.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not part of the feeder.
It's correct. Not part of the feeder.
You picked the horse. You're right. You're really sharp today, Scotty.
Yeah.
You got me beat here. You're right on top of things. Maybe you're gonna have a memorable day.
I know.
Yeah, wait for tomorrow for your memorable day.
I've not bet one of these horses. I've not.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right. That's the thing. We pick them and we do well. Then when you start betting, it's like, hold on a second. I should have been betting earlier.
They're not calling an inquiry here. It's official. Good.
Okay.
All right. Well, hopefully people have bet it.
Good call.
Thank you.
It's been rather chalky, I will have to admit, but that works if you pick the chalk. So right now we have the
Dave. Dave, I'll put these up all day long. Look.
Well, Dave, just for your information, I'm doing this purposely.
Dave,
I want
David,
Scotty to have his glory and success with the feeder, and I'm gonna just romp in the qualifier.
David, I can't take this off. It won't go away. I don't know what's going on.
Let me call. Let me text.
You better call
Chris
the moderator.
Walsh. He'll interrupt that for me.
You better call the moderator.
I have to buy him dinner on Monday night then.
All right.
All right. So tonight, well, nothing to do with tonight, but the horse entered in the third race named tonight is Even Money. So if the trend continues, that will be a easy winner. But I'm on my Sergeant, the 6-1 shot.
Where are we at? We're on race 4.
7 minutes to post, but we can go to. Yeah. We have time to go to a qualifier.
Yeah, I was just going to say, why don't we go to a qualifier before we do that?
Sure.
Let's do that. So
now we're going to be on Gulfstream.
We did Gulfstream Park 7. I took the 1. Who did you take again?
I took the 5. It's Bourbon 30 for Jeremiah O'Dwyer.
All right. So why don't we go, since we're here, let's go to Gulfstream Park 8. How's that?
Gulfstream Park 8. That works for me.
Okay.
Oh, this was an inscrutable race, my friend.
Oh,
whoa! God. I'm lying on a couch last night. I had to take a break because I was playing a bunch of races yesterday, and then I got a little. I wasn't doing well, in all honesty, and I'm like, I got to take a break. Well, I watched part of the weekend preview, and then I went to watch my Rangers, and I was falling asleep on the couch. I got the racing form on the couch. I started going through. I was starting to roll again. I'm like, I'm seeing things more clear. And then it got to this race, and I'm like, that's it. I have no idea who's going to win this race. So let's go through it.
No, this is a brutal race. I ended up going with the 12 horse, and I don't love the post. It's 6-1 E Morning Line. It's the top EquinEdge pick. It's 17%. And look at this horse. This horse is a decent horse, and it's going to stretch out no problem. I don't see any problem with the stretch out on this horse. It's just a matter of whether it's going to get the trip or not. And this is such a wide open race. I thought about taking Cajun's Choice, the 4 horse, but and it had always been on the lead. And then last time out, the 4 horse showed some rateability, and now it's going to draw inside. I considered taking. It was only 2% to win last time out, David, and it beat. It faced 9 other horses. I'm considering the 4 horse, but so far I'm kind of settling on the 12. What do you think?
Yeah, I liked the 12 originally, but there's so many contenders here that so when I see a race like this where I think it could result in some chaos, I'm going to reach for a price. So with the 12 dropping down from a 12.5 to an 8 claimer, that horse is probably going to go off lower than 8-1 in my opinion. It's going to take money. I went in another. I was all over the place with this race, but the horse that I have a little bit of interest in at a big price is the 10 Growth Mindset. Now, this horse did take a long time to break its maiden, right? 14 starts. And so I usually don't like that. So that's when I avoid horses in cases like that. But when I look at it, if you go 2 back, actually since this horse went to the synthetic, seemed to have improved a little bit. Missed back on August 25th over the synthetic. A little bit of a freshening, ran an even 4th. Then came back at 5.5 to 1 from the outside 11 post and stalked the pace and drew off pretty nicely. And I thought that was a good race. If you look at it seems like this horse is improving. But then what happened last time out, right? I don't know. The horse stalked the pace and just totally collapsed and finished dead last. So that concerns me. But it broke its maiden for 12.5. And it came back at 12.5. Now, normally you would think, okay, maybe it's a tougher field. So now break its maiden at 12.5, coming in for 8. Let me give a shot that this horse is going to revert to the prior Tapeta form. So I'm going to go with a long shot here, the 1 for 16 Growth Mindset.
All right, David's on the 10 horse.
And you're on the 12?
And possibly. Chris makes a really good point. Like, you couldn't have seen that last race coming from the 4. You couldn't.
40 to 1. Mm-hmm.
I mean, where do you? In a million years, you could not have seen that. Like, there's no way you have that horse unless your connections that know maybe the horse is doing well. You just don't. I don't know how
total form reversal, right? Total form reversal.
Mm-hmm. Now, was it the inside post? It had the 10-hole 2 races back at 8.5 on the synthetic, and it showed some speed before stopping late, and then it drew inside. Maybe that was it. I guess. I mean, maybe because if you look back in October, the horse ran a couple of good races on the synthetic, going 8.5 and 1 mile and 70 yards. So, maybe it's not a fluke. I don't. Maybe it didn't really like the dirt. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Like if it runs that same race, it wins the race. Vasquez stays aboard. He's been aboard for the last 3 races. Maybe they knew that horse was going to run good. I don't know. Like
maybe the light bulb went on, Scotty, and it's like, okay, after all these starts. But if you go back to October 6th, this horse did go wire to wire, and then went back to its old form. Well, yeah, it's an in and outer. It looks like. Yep. And then 2 bad races, 5.5 you can throw out. It's probably a distance horse.
We definitely have to think outside the box in here. And it's not necessarily in races like this about the win percentage. Like, look at the trouble line carefully. Look, in this race where this horse barely lost, it went 7 wide.
Right.
I mean, it was much the best, and it was only 2% to win.
Right. And then you look at it too, and it's same thing. That's why what Tapeta is very difficult, because if you look at the 8, Scotty, Moonrise Drive, same thing. This horse, based on the race February 17th, was nowhere, and then just woke up at 35 to 1 and just missed. It's almost like the form of the 4, Occasion's Choice, and that's pretty typical from what I've seen of form on Tapeta. I mean, it's like you get total form reversals, and that's one of the reasons I kind of avoid making major plays on Tapeta.
Well, I think what you're always looking to find is momentum. Like, is there does a horse have momentum? Look at in the race 2 back on 12-14. Not only did it break from the 10 hole, but it checked at the quarter. So, okay, we can throw, and that was against Tougher. So we can throw that out. The race before that against a 50 group, sprinting at 5.5, was 8 lengths back and only lost by 4.5 lengths. So you can throw that out. So you can throw the race 2 and 3 back out, barely loses last time out, 7 wide. I think we're uncovering this horse. I think the only race we can't really make sense of is the race on the dirt 4 back. Can't make sense of that one.
Right. Yeah. It's again. So like that's why I had classified this race, Scotty, as a total head scratcher. I did notice some of that form reversal. I'm like, wow, who's going to step up to the plate today? I just, even the 1's got a shot. I mean, but I'm going to go with Price at using a 10 horse here. More of a guess than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it has won a race on the Tapeta, so at least we have that going. And just missed on another at 12.5. So we got a first and a second. And actually just missed was in with Line Astray, who's the 7 horse. There's another contender here.
Which one?
The 10. The
10 the 7 horse?
Yeah, the 7 beat Growth Mindset a couple, let's see, August 25th by a neck. Growth Mindset was 10 to 1. And the 7 horse was 2.5 to 1. So he's right there with that horse. So it just shows you there's so many contenders here that whoever gets the trip is going to win. We've heard that line so many times. It's like whoever gets the right trip and gets out of the gate on time is got a shot here.
Well, I'm going to stick with the 12, but I'm definitely concerned about the 4 horse as well. But I'm going to stick with Breezer and Zayas,
okay.
and I'm going to stick with that. So
you're going with the Breezer, the 12 horse, and I'm going with the 10 Growth Mindset.
All right,
getting in white with the Apprentice.
So we have Gulfstream Park race number 4, which they are almost at the gate. Let me see, confirm it, so we can make sure I won't miss it. Oh, they're just chilling. So tonight is your favorite at 6 to 5. That's my play. You are on the 5 horse, My Sergeant, who we talked about this horse some. Second off the layoff, has only had 2 lifetime races. That wasn't the worst effort in the world. It didn't break good. Added blinkers. second off the layoff for Ron Coy. He's 29%. Remind us why you like this, My Sergeant.
It was mostly from the because of the drop down here, Scotty. Let me get back to it. Yeah, dropping from a maiden 35 down to a 25. Second off the layoff now going to 17.5. Blinkers off, Lasix on. It seems like this horse may be ready to step up here. But again, if the 3 can repeat that last race, it's going to be tough to beat. But these are 17.5 climbers, so there's no surety that this is going to be they're going to be consistent here.
The 2 horse is going to be scary on the lead. You know that, right? Like that 2 is going to have probably 2, 3, 4 length lead early on, but the race simulator says the 3 catches up pretty quickly, and I think the 3 would make a mistake. The jockey on the 3, who is David Egan, I like David, and he might make a mistake trying to be too close to the 2 because it's a little scary seeing a horse that far in front, especially going on the synthetic sprinting. And so sometimes jockeys contend if there's no other speed. Now, obviously, if there's other speed to go with the 2, then the jockey can chill. But there really isn't any other speed to go with the 2 other than the 3. And sometimes that'll pose a problem. The one that gets a really nice trip is the 8 horse. This is my second choice, and he's the EquinEdge second pick. And this one broke 7th from the 2 hole last time out and still ran a good race. He figures to get a nice trip under Zayas, and if we're going to lose, if the 3 is going to lose, it's going to most likely be to the 8 horse. That's what I think.
8's got a big shot. I would agree, Scotty.
All right, here we go.
Eamon just went forward under jockey Edgar Zayas in the black and red colors.
Okay, good luck, everybody. I'm on the 7-1 shot, the 5 My Sergeant. Scotty's on the, as Oldie would like to say, or normally says, the 1-1 shot is new tonight. Or tonight. What am I saying? New tonight.
Gonna pick Dominic moves forward in the center. Blue got in to the outside. Blue got in. And the 4th. Immigrate. And they're off. Quick into stride was Tonight, who heads off for the early lead, driving through at the inside.
Two's got the lead.
Candy apples on the move.
Well, 3 broke really good. Now the 2 broke slow though and rushed up. So advantage 3 horse right now. 3 sitting nicely. Your horse broke very good too, David.
Yeah, I like the break. Good position.
Out 3 wide, that's My Sergeant from 3rd. A great trip for Eamon. He's 4th and ducked
Eamon sitting in 4th, saving ground on the rail.
Yeah, nice trip. Yep.
Getting a nice trip.
A length and a half in front of Great Hunt, then gonna pick Dominic. At the back of the field as Blue got in.
You're fine. Here we go. You and I have been neck and neck in every
Yeah,
race.
And you've been beating my ass the whole day. Time for some revenge when the races mean more.
Eamon swung to the center for a lead opportunity.
Here we go again.
Drive on the inside tonight.
You got the better of me.
Goes by him.
You got this.
Tries to go by both of them. They're 1/8 of a mile out. My Sergeant has a kick for Zayas. He's now 4 in front.
Goodbye, 7-1, David.
Second, but that's as far as he gets.
You got it.
See, just for the everybody in the chat, I like to save my picks for longer priced horses. So when we add up the totals, I do a little better. But that's a good. It broke the ice, so it feels good. You don't want to just keep going overs and getting beat by Scotty every race. But
nice going. Well, look. Listen, if I keep picking chalk and you're getting horses that are 7-1, you can win one every 5 and still kick my ass.
Exactly. That works for me.
Yeah. That's amazing. But look, we've won between the 2 of us. We're getting exact boxes every race. So that's a good sign for.
Hey, maybe we're getting confident going into tomorrow. I have to tell you, usually, I have a feel for going into a tournament the next day. I have a good feeling for both of us going into tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm
really
feeling pretty good as well. I've been seeing things pretty good lately. And you can, the 5 horse just ran huge. Look at that. And let's see here. That was by the way, too, that was a much tougher group that the 5 horse faced in its second start. That was a 48 group. Today was a 42.
Right.
So to be fair. Right. And then the horse broke in a tangle in that last race. So good handicapping there. I missed that.
And the 8 finished second, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the other drop down. So these drop downs are real important. So the 8
They
was
are.
dropping from a 35, the 5 was dropping from a 35, then a 25 when it broke in a tangle. So yeah, you got to watch for those drops. So just because a horse at 17.5 just missed, and a lot of these horses have been running for lower.
Yeah.
Now they're facing better horses. You know, two horses were racing at a higher level, so it's a different ballgame.
So there's some people that had the 5 horse. There's about 6 or 7 people that are gonna pass me there, and
I think you should still be in real good shape, unless we get a long. I don't think you're getting a long shot at Aqueduct. It's a small field. That you're in good shape. I'm going to check my tournament.
I have the 4 horse, who's the favorite right now. I like this race, but you're on the 5 horse Midnight Trouble. But that horse alone is going to put you near in contention as well in the feeder, correct?
No, I'm on the feeder for the Pegasus. I'm currently in 130th, and only the top 19 entries. So even I'd have to go 3 for 3. And I might have a shot if I can go 2 for the next 2. If Boston Rose should be a price. What's Midnight Trouble? 9-2?
9-2 right now, 33%. 4 horses even money. The EquinEdge morning line was 7-5, so not surprised that this horse is getting bet. This horse dropped the jockey, stumbled badly, and lost the jockey last time out. And now Manny Franco jumps aboard. We talked about Manny Franco earlier in the show, how a 13% jockey. That's one of the top jockeys in the country, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Manny Franco's, he's one of the best out there. Stays in New York, and can't go wrong with Manny. He usually has his horses in a good spot. So yeah, so even money, and the second, we got the 2 at 4-1, the 3 at 4-1. My horse is the 4th choice at 9-2, and I'm liking that.
Race number 3 at excuse me, at Aqueduct is coming up in 4 minutes from now. Gulfstream Park's not official yet. Race number 4. I'll let you know when it is. David is on the 5 horse. I'm on the 4. Just for those of you that are just joining us, we've hit every race.
Well, for clarification, Scotty's hit 4 out of 5. I've hit 1 out of 5.
You hit a 7
out of 4.
Shot. Yeah, but your horses have been running second as well. So
I had one. Yeah,
one sec, right? We've been hitting some exactas, and so we've been on fire so far. We still have I think 7 or 8 races to cover in the qualifier, so we're still going to do that. So hopefully you can join us. We've got about probably a little bit more than an hour probably left of the show. So
a little after 3. Yeah. While we're talking about an hour left in the show, I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Take a little bit of a break. Okay, sir.
All right. So let's see if there's any other horses here. The race on paper looks really tough here. Bramito, the 2 horse, I thought was interesting because it didn't break good last time out, and I don't normally like horses, though, that face tougher but don't run. So it didn't run. But that being said, 2 races back for Linda Rice, this horse faced a 64 group and only lost by 4 1/4 lengths. It's a big class drop. But I have mixed feelings about this long shot. I think it's more for 3rd place. You can see, but then it beat. It seems to need some speed. I think that's what this is all about for this horse, is that it needs a pace stool. And here's the thing, I don't think it's going to get it. But it's going to get pace because the 4 horse is fast. But I don't think anybody else can go with the 4. So I think the 2 horse at 4-1 is getting over bet, but it's a horse you can put in the 3rd spot. David likes Midnight Trouble, who, by the way, is the top win percentage at 33%. But this horse didn't really run last time out. It was a little bit wide. The time before that, it just ran okay. It's not really running within the race. It's just kind of finishing late. So the 5 looks like another one for me. That's one of the reasons why I like the 4 so much, and it's 6-5 right now. The 3-horse Magnificent Mile is a horse you have to consider. It didn't break well last time out against a little bit tougher. But what I like about this horse, it's trying throughout its races. And so I think the 3-horse is one you have to look at, and it's the EquinEdge second pick. So I do think the 4-horse is the horse to beat. As long as it's okay after that stumble last race out, I do think the 4-horse under Manny Franco is going to be tough gate to wire, currently at 8-5. And they're always on time. There's 1 minute before this race at Aqueduct. Let's see where they're at right now. So you actually probably have around 2 or 3 minutes left. But 31% on this horse. The 1 horse is 4-1 on the EE morning line, but it's 18-1 right now. But it's only 5%. That's the 1A, Kahala. The 1 horse was scratched. I actually liked that horse. Alternate Reality. That horse had run good prior against Magnolia Midnight, but it doesn't matter now because the horse has been scratched. And Katie Davis is aboard. She's won one already today. And it's not the worst looking long shot in the world. You get a horse like that to get in the money if some of these horses don't run. The 6-horse Lost in Rome. Here's another one that might show some early speed, but it seems to fade late. But it is coming off a layoff for Bruce Levine, and Bruce Levine is 20% off layoff. So maybe the 6-horse has a look here, but I think it's all about the 4-horse Magnolia Midnight. David's horse is 7-2 right now. And there was a bit of a tell on this horse too on the 5, even though it's not in the EquinEdge picks. And I was surprised this horse, it could have been. It wasn't the EquinEdge long shot. The 2-horse was. But the 5-horse is the top win percentage. It's 4-1 on the EE morning line. Currently, this horse is 7-2. That just kind of shows you the depth of this field. It's very competitive. But speed, if you've got equal class and you have equal ability and you control the speed naturally without having to rush, which the 4 has natural speed, as long as the horse is still doing well. And I was looking at the workouts, and it seems to be fine. Like that January 3rd workout, David, a 15 of 78 was pretty good for the 4-horse. I think it's kind of a tell that the horse is doing well. And I like the slow work on January 15th. It tells me also the horse is just doing good and no need to go, get a fast workout. So I think the 4-horse looks like the horse, David.
Okay. Yeah, I think we have a pretty good likelihood it's going to be a midnight exacta.
Yep.
Magnolia and with trouble.
They're at the gate right now.
Yep. And now even money. And now I'm drifted up to 5-1. So I'm liking that price at 5-1.
For sure. I can understand that.
Right.
It's all about, for these front runners like the 4-horse, it's all about getting an easy lead and not rushing. And sometimes they can get confused because the jockey is sending so hard at the beginning, and it's understandable. They're trying to get a lead. You love to see these horses that don't have to rush to get the lead, that naturally get the lead as they kind of prod the 3-horse into the gate right now. The 4-horse about to go into the gate. Looks calm. Very nice. Goes into the gate nicely. There's 3 of them loaded. We've got 6 horses. The 1A has been scratched. And the 1A right now is your longest shot on the board at 25-1. There's the 6-horse. And 1 more left to load. The 1A is on the outside. The longest shot on the board. 40,000 claimer, 4-year-olds and upwards for a $58,000 purse. They're doing a 1-turn mile. And there goes the 4. Didn't break all that great.
That's the 6 is loading in the gate as we speak.
The 4 is in the lead right now, but that's not the easy lead you're looking to see. The 6-horse Lost in Rome is pressing on the 4 right now. And then there's about 2 lengths back for the rest of them. So right now they're doing 23-3 for the quarter mile, which is okay for these horses. The 4 is on the lead on the inside, and the 6 is pressing a bit. It'll be interesting to see what this half is. Hopefully you're going to see 48 seconds for this 4-horse, and 47-2 is very fast. And the 5's not really running, David. The 3-horse is closing Magnificent Mile a little bit. The 4 seems to have the measure of the 6. At this point right now, nobody really closing.
No.
3 is starting to come. And the 4's got the measure of the 6-horse, and the 4 took the turn and is pulling away. Here comes the 3, but it's not going to be enough. The 4 is going to win this race, and I think the 3 might have the measure of the 6-horse for second, but it's going to be close. Actually, going to be very, very close for second.
And the 5's just not firing off the claim whatsoever. No.
Oh, that's really close for second. I can't even call that. But 4-horse wins easy. Controls that pace and really never had to sweat that much.
All right. Scotty's on the board again. You are going to be in the qualifier, saving a few dollars here. Let me see if I can call that photo, because the 6 is a much longer price.
It is.
The inside horse had it. Yeah, the 6.
The 6 got second. It's close.
The horse in the pink silk's got it.
Yeah, Wiz thinks it's the 6-horse as well.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Let's see here. Hopefully they'll.
Even though with my age, my vision is, I will admit, is declining a bit. So don't go by
horse
me.
players always can see the wire. Stop it. I don't know. I think the 6 got the bob. I don't know, but right past the wire, maybe the 3 got it, but it might be past the wire. That's
one jump past the wire. I agree.
One jump past the wire, but it's close. But Manny Franco, he's such a good job.
Manny on another winner.
There are some horses like the 4-horse when they get the lead, they're just tough. 4-6-3. So 6 lost in Rome, got second at 6-1.
Interesting. Right. So just if I can skip ahead.
Listen, in my defense, just so you know, the 4-horse was 4-1 on the odds makers morning line. I'm just saying everyone's betting my horses.
Hold on a second. Was 4-1. Everybody's jumping on the Scotty horses today.
Just saying.
You're on a roll. Mm-hmm. All right. It looks like something else. People are jumping on my horse in the next race at Gulfstream in the 5th race.
Yeah,
Boston Rose opened at even money.
There's still 18 minutes for the race.
I know.
I'm just joking.
6-5 now.
It is. That's such a tough race. Wow.
I know. If I knew I was getting anywhere, obviously you get more than 6-5. But if first flash is this horse anywhere near 6-5, I don't want it. But you're locked in on a pick and pray, right? So nothing you can do at this point.
No. Gulfstream Park 5, and I ended up changing to the 11-horse.
Oh, you went to the
EquinEdge Long Shot Public Defender, who's dead on the board. But that doesn't scare me. No,
it shouldn't.
It's hard to really see this horse, but this horse is. You know what? One of the things I like to see, David, is horses that are finishing in races, right? And that's what you see here. The other thing I like is this is a closer, but not a horse that comes from 20 lengths back. Closer. Right. And so this is kind of what you're looking for. This is definitely kind of what you're looking for. So I'm on the 11-horse Public Defender, but here's a race where I could very easily, let's just like right now, I'm one of the, I look decent to get by in this feeder, but in this particular race where it's absolutely wide open, that could go by the wayside very quickly.
Right. Yeah. Right. Some of these wide. Yeah. Again, at this point, I would prefer the 11, taking the 11 at that price, because I don't want a low priced horse in this race, but I might be stuck with it. I am stuck with it if it goes off at a lower price.
9's a player as well. All right, let's see here. Free money, Michael. Yep.
Free money. Show me the money.
Fairgrounds 2. And I guess we had a big favorite in the first race. Yeah, we had that. In the second race, let's just see if there's any notes by Justin, who's been in fuego, aiming for a trainer jockey double. So he's saying the 2 horse is a player. He fits well against this group. He's saying the 5 horse is fine. And all right, so he's with the EquinEdge picks. Let's see who's going to get the lead. Maybe 2 could go gate to wire, and how is it done on dirt? It's done okay on dirt. Look at 2 tries on the turf, 18,000. I mean, you can see that this horse can run on both. It doesn't matter. All right, they already took off. Let me know how that goes. All right, so we've got. We could probably get in a couple of qualifiers here, David.
Yeah, you want to go to the. We finished the 8th at Gulfstream, correct? So we're going to. You want to go to the 9th at. At Gulfstream.
Why don't we do that?
Okay. All right. And I'm curious if you put that up, because there's been a scratch here that may change my opinion. And I think the scratch of the 4, who would have added a lot of pace to this race.
Yeah.
If you can tell me, because I'm a little shorthand, who's got the pace metric advantage? The 1 over, and how much does he have it over the 5?
By 20 points.
Really? Okay. I'll start here. It was originally going to be a mile on the turf as originally scheduled, but now we're at 1 mile and 70 yards on my favorite surface, the Tapeta. And I think the move, this transfer over to Tapeta, it justifies a play against the 6 Lights and Audible, who I thought would be really tough on the turf as long as you got enough pace up front. Now things have changed with the 4 out of the race, who would have added a tremendous amount of early lick to this field. The 1's going to be on the lead, and it looks like the 2 Trembetta horses, the 1 will be on the lead and the 5 will be stalking. And I just have I had played the 5 horse Love and Laughter a couple back at the Big A, and I thought that horse just missed like 3 back. I was actually at Laurel that day, who I loved, and it just missed. The issue is that neither one of these horses have run over this Tapeta course at Gulfstream, right? Yeah. But now it changes my original opinion watching a horse go wire to wire earlier on the card. And I don't really think there's much speed in here besides the 1 and the 5. And since they're from the same stable, I don't think that 5 is going to let the 1 get away. And I don't think it's going to be a speed duel. I think the 5 can stalk the 1. Give me the 5, Life, Love, and Laughter at a big price, stalking the speed and taking over in the stretch, trying to Tapeta first time, because I think we have a vulnerable favorite or vulnerable horse in the 6, Life's an Audible. I don't love the 7 or the 8. So I'm settling on the 5, Life, Love, and Laughter. All right, slightly off the pace.
This is a race. This is one of 4 races I did not handicap. So what do you, the 3 horse Bedazzle, the top EquinEdge pick, coming off a layoff, something happened in the last race, but prior to that, the horse had rattled off 2 straight wins while rating. And
again, another one who's never been on the Tapeta. And I don't know about you, Scotty, but besides, I think Sand and Sea is the only horse that I can recall Mott having a lot of success with on Tapeta. I don't think they love running on Tapeta. So I think I would have given the 3 a much better shot on the turf course.
Well, I'm looking right now. I'm looking at every single one of them. The 1 horse has some synthetic breeding. I go straight to the dam. I don't even care. I don't even care about the sire. I just want to know how the dam has done on the synthetic. The 1 horse so far has been been pretty good. I mean, the dam was pretty good. Ran one time. This one here for rapid. Let's see here on the synthetic. So over at the old Arlington Park. God, we miss Arlington Park, don't we?
Yeah, geez, definitely miss it.
Man, I don't even like thinking about that. That's just here's a decent long shot, New Guinea, who's never been on the synthetic, but the mom did well in its only start on the synthetic. So I think we got to consider the 7, the 1 and 7. I'm going to put that down there. The 1 and 7, where there is at least on the mother's side, there's some synthetic breeding. Excuse me, breeding, not breathing. Okay, and then that doesn't match up with any of the EquinEdge picks. So, and that's what we thought about this race, right? It looks wide open.
Yeah, it's absolutely wide open. That's why I went for a price horse.
Now, you had mentioned you thought, like, first of all, the win percentage here for the Velasquez Pletcher is not very great. I'm surprised by this. And you had kind of mentioned that you didn't really love this horse, but if you throw out the last race, which was against a 72 SOR group, well, this is 70, going on the synthetic for the first time. What do you make of this? What do you make of them? Was this race scheduled for the turf as well?
Yes, it was originally carded, Scotty, for mile on the turf course. So that's when I would have definitely used Life's Inaudible. But to me, it gives me basically a justification to not use the horse. It's going to be at a pretty low price, right? And the 8's going to be bet, and the 8 has never gone synthetic. So not to say the horse that I picked is a synthetic horse, but if I'm going to take a chance on who's going to like synthetic, wouldn't I rather take a 20-1 morning line rather than a 9-2 who's probably going to be 5-2 or 3-1, or a 7-2 who's probably going to be 3-1. You won't get 20-1 on Life and Love and Laughter. You probably get 8 between 8 and 12, but I'll go with that price. That's my justification there. I don't know if it's going to work, but why not take a price?
I think I'm going to go with the 7, but I want to look at the EquinEdge long shot real quickly. And I mean, this one raced on the turf horse last time out. It doesn't go that far down for Belmont and Tyler. I mean, I love Tyler. But I mean, its form doesn't look all that great, and it's just a slow breaker, but it's it's pretty classy. And then you have a horse. You know what? I'm going to go with my gut. The mother was decent on the synthetic. I'm going to go with the 7 horse. I thought maybe the 1 horse is 1-2. This one could be on the lead early. I just don't know about the class. But look at that. I mean, this one's saving ground from the inside. We talked about where's Oldie where we need him. Is this one of those horses that can go gate to wire on the lead?
I was looking at one of the Trombetta horses because of the scratch of the 4. That's the only reason. And yeah, I mean, I think the 1's a little cheaper than the 5, and but horse may be on the engine for a long time. But I think the 5 will be close. The 5's not slow.
Listen, the 1 horse. No, the 1's going to be on the lead. I have no doubt about that. Yeah. And from that rail. I mean, and she broke bad last time, was on the lead on the turf. Listen, she's been in the money, David, 9 of 12 races and earned $200,000, right? She's not
got a shot,
right?
Yeah. I was a decision for me between the 2 Trombetta horses. So if I was going to play a second ticket, I'd use the 1 on the other ticket. Looking for a price here because I think speed might be okay. And I'm contradicting myself from early in the card, but maybe at least we have a more even track than the last couple of days on the Tapeta.
And the 7 horse is only ran 2 times in 2024, and first race back came back in a non-graded stakes race, which actually speaks to what Clement thought about this horse. Then gets into a condition, an optional claiming 25,000. It beats 9 other horses fairly easily. And now moves up in class a bit, but has earned $370,000, so has a little bit of back class. We looked at the mother. The mother raced 1 time on the synthetic and won 20,000. She had some substance. I mean, 9 wins in 24 races for $280,000. And then this one, Magger Bags. wasn't as good, but she earned, almost half of her money on the synthetic. Mm-hmm. So she was pretty flexible for the one horse. I'm struggling between it's going to be between. I'm definitely taking, one of those horses. The 3-horse Bedazzlem. I mean, this horse is the top EquinEdge pick. It's 5-1 in the EE morning line, and it seems to have a touch of class. It won over a Kentucky Downs 2 back.
Yeah, again, synthetic for the first time. Is there anybody in this field who has run? The only horse I see with form on the synthetic is the 2. Maybe we're overlooking the 2, but it wasn't at Gulfstream. It was at Woodbine. But the only horse was. But again, every synthetic track's a little different, right? But if you're looking for a justification, then you get a Mott horse. That's the Mott horse that I would probably use uphill dance because of the experience over the Tapeta. Synthetic at Woodbine, right?
Tyler's aboard.
Yeah.
Ray Lou Gutierrez and Trombetta are 1 for 1. And then Bravo and Christophe Clement are 1 for 1. Super interesting.
It was an interesting race on the turf, but now it's an even more interesting race on the Tapeta. Would you agree?
Yeah, and look, if the race simulator is correct and the first call is deadly, the one, especially from the rail, could be a couple of lengths in front easily at the first call. Easily. I'm going to go the 1.
I'm proud of you. That was my other horse, and that's the horse who I think is really going to be dangerous. But because there's an entry mate who's also got some stalking speed, I think the 5 will be sitting a perfect trip here and to have a chance to pounce on this horse. I'm not sure either one's good enough, but I'll take the risk on. So I think we're making the right decision, taking a price in this race, each of us.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, we've got Gulfstream Park race number 5, which is part of the last race of our feeder. And David, you know what I'm going for. I've got a price horse here. I'm on the 11 horse. You're on the 1 horse, who's the favorite right now.
Hold on a second, my friend. Surprised? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a little out of sync here. I'm looking at the wrong leaderboard. I'm looking at my leaderboard. What's the 1 horse? What's the odds right now on Boston Rose?
5.
Yeah, that might not put me over the top. But I'll tell you what, when you're in 130th place and you hit a nice 7-1 shot, I moved up to 36th.
Wow.
And top 19 get in. 19th is currently $31.70, and I am $27.20. So I have a shot here to get to the 384 contest today. Let's go. Let's get 2 Pegasus seats. I'm confident my qualifier plays today.
All right. Well, if the 1 horse wins and then the 11 gets second, we're still good.
You're good, but you should still be in either way.
The Rachel Song, the 9 horse, was a horse I thought about using. Top EquinEdge pick. This horse is 2-1. Not surprisingly, it's been first or second. It's going to run good. It's going to run good. The 7 horse, Tinky Ibarra. We talked about this sprinter stretching out for Ian Wilkes, who takes over after a $35,000 claim and protects this horse. And here's what's interesting: this race comes up easier on the SOR by 4 points than the last race did, and this horse is 2 for 2. That being said, it still has to stretch out. Do you think we're going to see this horse near the lead? Do you think we're going to see this horse coming from behind? Tactical? What are you expecting from this horse?
Tiki?
Yeah.
Or Tinky? I think Tinky, based on coming out of sprints, is going to be right up on the engine there. I think he's going to be pressing the pace or right up on or having the lead here.
Yeah.
And I think the 1 will be pressing too. So it does Dettori. Now, Dettori, based on my viewing of him since he's come over from Europe, he doesn't love to be on the lead. I mean, sometimes he will be, but I think he'd prefer to rate. So I would think he'd let the 7 or the other speed go and just stalk from that inside trip. We'll see how it goes. But Boston Rose is not slow early. She's a pretty fast gal.
So Boston Rose. Declared no contest last time out. Didn't run whatsoever. Was 10th. I think something happened with the gate.
No. What it was, Scotty, there was a spill at some point during the race, and they blew the horn. And so, I didn't watch the replay, but I was watching live that day. I believe that was it was right after Christmas. And so I was watching that race live, and I was surprised because they got the horse and the jock off pretty quick. And even Pete Aiello was surprised that they declared it a non-contest. Not Aiello. The analyst, Brian Nadeau, he was surprised that they declared it a non-contest. But I mean, the horse with the outside post, obviously you hear the horn, you're going to, especially from that outside post, you're going to get a complete stop, right? So the horse just jogged around the track. So you can toss that race totally.
This is the toughest race so far that we've come up with, right?
Agreed. Yes.
On paper, it doesn't look like there's any horse in this race that can't win. Even the 6 horse. And every horse is within 2.5 lengths. The 5 horses 3 lengths back at the race simulator. I mean, anything can happen in this race.
Yeah, I agree. Even the 6. I mean, my first impression, while this horse is shipper from the Mid-Atlantic and been racing cheaper, but has a couple of races here, if you can handle the synthetic, that maybe put her in contention. I can't throw her out totally.
No, you can't. I love you. You keep doing impressions. That's great.
Oh, there you go. Get that impression. It's an impressive. It's an impressive impression day.
It sure is. It's been
You're 2-1. Come on, drift up, Boston Rose, to 3-1, and get me a spot in the qualifier for Pegasus seat today. Come on, baby. And get Scotty into the qualifier for the NHC with that 11. So how about a 111? Would that work for you?
I'll take a 111. That would be great.
Okay.
That would get me in.
Route 111.
Yep, it'll save me $60, something like that, $62.
Save me 340 some odd dollars for that Pegasus contest.
All right, here we go. They're going into the gate.
All right, here we go. I can watch a race with you. Okay.
You can.
I gotta try to figure out why that's happening.
My 11 might run pretty good.
I agree at 20-1. I have to tell you, the 11 to me is a horse that I would play at the NHC.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's too high of a price.
Favorites in here, Boston Rose with an inside draw.
You can't like the way the 4 is acting right now at 6-1. One of the contenders.
Performer gets ready to go forward now. Escape room.
Just not the way you want to see a horse acting.
Right. And again, since this is an NHC show, I'll reference this. I originally picked the 1, but if we're sitting at a table and it's a mandatory race, I'm probably changing my pick. I don't want the 2 or the 1 at 2-1.
Yeah,
I'm locked in now, so
yeah.
I'm not probably changing my pick. I'm 100% changing my pick.
Love the 8. Tony says, I love the 8. 18
okay,
to 1.
Tony, 18-1. That's going to be a boom.
There's the 9, ears pricked and all.
Oh, that's Fantasy Performer.
That one,
that's a horse we said that got a shot also. I thought that horse had a chance. Good call, Tony.
This is a good race. This is a really good race.
It would be a much better race on a sloppy track, but in my opinion. But go ahead, here we go.
Chris likes the 8 a little bit. Wow, perfect break, but the 8
broke in a line.
11's going to be wide, not surprised, but the jockey's doing a nice job. Hopefully the 9 kind of cuts in, and he does. That's not terrible for the 11. I don't hate that.
Who's 5 wide. Rachel's Song just to her inside, and the 2 path is Escape Room.
Now just sit on the horse now.
Run around the first turn.
That was sitting a pretty good trip there at 25-1.
They're not going fast at all. Oh, 24-4 is not.
No.
They're not.
They went 23 and change the last Peter race.
Yeah.
is at the rail.
The 2-turn race.
11 sitting in 3rd right now. There's a 7, Pinky.
And the 1 spin, then he's the one that's getting it fighting out. Victoria.
Outside and Domer Allure as they make their way to the half mile.
I think
you
the
were
one's
right, by the
totally
way.
out.
You were right about the one.
It's a very
And
early pace.
and
Leader is
the
Tinky
jockey does
Amorio.
not like to
Luisa
be
is on top of length and a
to
quarter.
be on the lead, and
Public
that's a
Defender is
mistake.
second, Cake
You have to
Stand
take
Sanders
advantage of that
third.
rail and that
Rachel
speed.
Song is in between
Right
And
now
this-
he's in all kinds of trouble, and
Place
he's
to
out.
go.
He's
Outside
got to
and
find
Fantasy
room or go
Performance
wide.
in
He's got no
fourth,
chance here, I don't think.
including
Yeah.
Escape
He's probably
Room
got
and
horse, but I don't
Sonetta.
think.
Out wide on the course.
So the
Six
Domer
is
stretch out
stopping.
Boston
horse is
Rose.
done. My
She's
11's
moving
running
back
pretty
in the
freaking
field.
good.
She does have an inside lane though, and she's trying to improve.
Come
more
on.
than 5 lengths of
Man,
lead.
if this horse wins, I'm sure that's it.
And 113 and
Like
4.
I'm dead. Me
Public
officially,
There
I'm
you go.
on
Look at
fire.
this.
lead. Moving up between horses, that's Boston Rose who tries to find a way out.
Officially, I'm going to be here. There goes your one.
Yeah, come on with that one. Give me a 111, baby.
Come on, 11.
He doesn't want to get between horses.
One time.
Inside Boston Rose.
Hold up.
Escape Room taking a shot at
Hold
Public
up.
Defender.
Hold
Defender,
up.
a big price. Public
Yeah.
Defender holds on to it.
Yeah, all right,
Public
Scotty.
Defender and Dylan Davis
Boom.
bring the upset. They beat Escape Room.
There you go.
Run.
Wow.
He
Public
was down
Defender,
inside
my
and in
friend.
third.
That's
He won
it.
41 and 2.
Yeah, that's a horse. What did I say? What did I just say?
Wow.
That was an NHC horse,
That is
right?
crazy.
The 11?
25-1.
That horse
That's
would use
cute.
at the NHC. That's what you do. You can't take 5-2. You can't take 7-5 in a race like this. No way.
That's just insane.
And again, we're stuck with pick and pray, right? I mean, that
We're
one
stuck-
was totally
we're
overbet.
Stuck with a feeder right
And
now.
the one check mid-stretch didn't want to come up the rail, but
No, that was the jockey did a bad job. The Tory did a bad job. No,
yeah, that's why I'm a little reluctant with a speed horse. The horse has got speed that should be close to the pace. He doesn't want to run that way. He doesn't want to come up. The horse doesn't want to come up the rail there.
Oh.
But we just missed a nice exacta too. Jeez, look at that. Held on. Oh yes, Scotty. Boy, you're going to be right on top of the. You're going to be the only one on top today. Let's see. You're going to be number one.
Wow.
You're going to be number one.
I have not made one bet. I mean,
You would be.
Why do I pick today not to bet? What is going on with me?
You're saving it for tomorrow.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's actually
And
what was
Dylan
happening.
Dylan Davis. What do I say? Dylan Davis.
Yep.
Third race over layoff. Again, if you're going to try Tapeta for the first time, why not go with a 25-1 shot?
Wow, on fire.
And Tony's horse came out. The 8 horse at 18-1 ran third. What a nice triple.
Yeah. The Tory did a bad job on the one, no doubt about it. But the 11 was live. I mean, obviously live.
Yeah.
And you've got a full field of 11 horses like that. Anything can happen in the race.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
First of all, the 11 had its issues. It had to go wide.
Mhm.
Dylan did a good job, and we talked about that. You gotta
Yep,
watch
it was a
Dylan
good position all the way around. Yep.
Yeah,
Puts himself
talked
in a
about that
position.
Early in the show. Early in the show, we were talking about watch for Dylan Davis. You're right, Chris.
For Dylan.
Yeah. But the thing is, you don't know. I don't play feeders. That's the first. This is only the second feeder I've ever played. So,
Right.
yeah. Why can't I do this in the qualifiers, David?
Public Defender.
Well, you leave that to me. I'll get some torque points for us.
Room second. In the picture, it's 8 Fantasy Performer
Wow.
third, 1 Boston Rose fourth, 9 Rachel Song fifth,
That's pretty cool. Wow.
11-4, 8-1-9, 141.
Well, I guess I've got 2 qualifiers now, David.
All right. 2 is better than 1.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You get on a roll sometimes. You just got to carry that thing, right? And you got to.
And I'm starting to regret not changing my. Again, I didn't anticipate Boston Rose, in all honesty, to be 5-2. But let's be the 11 is my profile type of horse that I play. I mean, this is a horse that just screams out NHC. This is a horse I would have used at the NHC. But the issue is with these online contests, they're pick and pray, right? I think I would have, not to say they would have went to 11, because I might have went to the 8 also. But there's a horse I would have considered. So at that table, if this was a mandatory, I'd be saying, Scotty, my horse is too low. I'm going to go to the 11 or the 8. What do you think?
Yeah.
And we would have made the right choice here.
Yeah.
Stewart and Bance, owned by Andrew
Yeah.
Rosen and John
Yeah,
Stewart.
I'm really upset at
Civilly, the
myself
winning trainer,
for not
winning
betting
jockey
today.
Dylan Davis.
Man.
Yeah.
41-2 for Public Defender.
You could have been buying dinner next weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, after you win the Pegasus tomorrow, and then we'll have a nice cocktail next week.
You know what? Yeah, I'll tell you honestly why I decided not to gamble this today, because I wanted if I did bad today, then it would throw me off for tomorrow, and I wanted to have that. That's the only reason. And then all of a sudden, I'm winning every. I mean, I've won all the races but one.
Right, and that's one of the things I've done before the NHC. For me, now every horse player is different. I'll acknowledge that. Everybody's got a different is wired differently. But for me, taking a 2-week break before the NHC and not looking, I'll watch some replays, but I don't really. I need that break. So when I arrive in Vegas that Wednesday night, walk into that ballroom on Thursday for the first chance, last chance, I'll be fresh. I will look at some stuff on the plane, but nothing that day. On Wednesday, I won't look at any Wednesday races. I'll start looking at Thursday on the plane.
Take a guess what that big 5 paid. 50 grand.
50 grand? I was going to say 12.5. Holy crap.
50 grand. Let's do a recap of that. Like, we had every race.
That's a boom.
Oh, no, we didn't have this 6 horse. Somebody had this 6 horse.
Oh, the 6 horse was that gigantic price. Yeah, that's what made it. I forgot about the 6 horse, right? It would have been 12.5 without the 6.
And then from there, the EquinEdge long shot won. We talked about that horse. That horse went gate to wire. Wink of an eye. I love this horse. That would have been my single. My Sergeant, you had the 5 horse, and then Public Defender. So yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think we would have had that 6. That 6 was really difficult to come up with. Really.
So I got second. So there was one guy, John Cilia, who actually had the 11 as well. Good for him. Nice going. He killed it. He had your 5 as well in race number 4 at Gulfstream. He had the 4 horse last race. And what amazing handicapping, John. Great job. But I got John.
You had that. He had this. Hold on a second. Yeah, that is really good play. I mean, that's an awesome number. $104 for a feeder. It's only 6 races.
Amazing, right?
Tremendous number. And Scotty, $92. You're way ahead of the third.
Yeah, it was pretty clear to the rest of the field. But anyways, I'm happy to that was a lot of fun. Yeah, and I think I'll do that more often because it's only 6 races and it goes by fast and it's not expensive to do it. It's pretty easy. Again, if you want to get into these tournaments, you guys just go to the NTRA and make sure you become a tour member, okay? And
yes, very important.
It's a lot of fun. Okay, so
all right.
I think we ought to just look at Fairgrounds race number 3 because
we got time. We figured
Justin's just been on fire as well, and see where he's got a note. If he's got
Justin's been killing it.
He has.
Yep.
With a solid work pattern and room to improve off his last turf effort, the 6-year-old is a dangerous player. But it was on the turf, and this is now off the turf. But the horse has actually done really good on the dirt. It's actually probably a good move for this horse, actually. Let's see here. It's you know how hard it is. You know how hard it is to handicap and then do analysis on all these horses and then have them take the races off the turf. It's brutal.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me. Or just even it's late scratches, and once they take them off the turf, I don't have to worry about that in Aqueduct now this time of year. But it's not great.
So. An interesting horse here in this Fairgrounds race would be the 9 horse because it's done pretty well on a wet surface. So a couple of wins that I can see of late, and this horse is 10-1 right now, where you got a lot of turf horses that are, I think the 5 horse, the favorite right now is interesting. But anyways, the 9 and 11-1 is an interesting choice. Let me give you my play-by-play. If I was betting on this race, and I'm not, I would probably put the 5 in front, but the 8 horse is 50% to win. But the last couple of races, that horse has been bet big time, been in a good position, and now it's jumping on the dirt where it hasn't done as well as it has on turf. I like the 5 better than the 8 personally.
In the third.
In the third race here at Fairgrounds. And I wouldn't be surprised by the 6-horse Boitano running good. Maybe try to beat the 8, and maybe do something like an exacta box 5, 6, 9 in a short race. The horses are at the starting gate.
All right, third fairgrounds. Oh, I was wondering why they're off the turf. It looks like it's fast, but they had a snowstorm there.
Yeah.
So you can see this moisture still on the track. They call it, labeling it muddy or good. I don't see the track condition here. Either way.
The EquinEdge long shot broke on top. That's the 6. Mike had a daily double 5 over 4, 5. 5 saving ground on the rail, not being asked. I actually got a ton of horse. Horse is a little bit rank. You can see the jockey's legs are like pointed this way forward, and he's got a lot of horse. And horse is not rank, but the horse wants to go. Oh, he's really talking to the horse. That can sometimes take a lot of energy out of the horse. I'm not using the new platform yet. You're all going to get that. I'm guessing about a month from now. I saw that only the 9-horse. Thought the 9-horse was somebody you had to look at to be in the money. I never like when a horse is running with its head sideways like the 8-horse. I mean, he looks to have horse, but I try to beat horses like that. 9's done. Here comes the 5. I would imagine this race is between the 6-horse and the 5. The EquinEdge Stakes. The 5's loaded. Here comes the 5. 6 is going to have to hold off the 5. 2-horse race. You just knew 9 might get third. Actually, you just knew that 8-horse was getting over bad. 6 is going to hold out for 5. It's going to be 6, 5, 9.
Yeah, I'm just watching. I'm a little behind you, but that 8 did go really wide around the turn.
6, 5, 9. The EquinEdge long shot, and that was a note that Justin had, and he said this 6-year-old is a dangerous player, and he wasn't wrong. So, and the 5 ended up going off at 4 to 5. The 8-horse ZZ's Prince, you could just tell, right? I mean. First of all, you can just look at the tab. If you look at the tab here, the lifetime tab. Turf in 8 tries, $57,000, and in 10 tries, only $37,000 on dirt. And yeah, the horse is just not the same. So that horse, but 9 didn't run bad. But it was 13 to 1. I don't know if there was a trifecta on the race, but
9 did 9 get third?
9 got third, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll work at 13 to 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And favorite was off the board, correct?
Favorite was off the board. Well, no, the 5 ended up going off as the favorite.
Okay, right. I thought it was the right.
Yeah.
5 was the favorite and 8 was the second choice then.
Right.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right. So I think I have, let's see, my entry. I have 2 of them. Yeah. I have 2 entries now.
Oh, you make sure you get them in. I think it's 3:30. So you still have about 40 minutes. So we have plenty of time to get that in.
All right. So I'm going to get let me get these in real quickly.
Yeah.
Why don't we go to, where are we going to go? What race are we going to go to? You want to go to, let's go to Aqueduct 8 real quick. Let's cover that. Aqueduct 8.
Sure. Aqueduct
I'll let you talk about that while I put my other entry.
Sure. So let me just pull up, just be patient with me, pulling up Aqueduct 8. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. Okay. Aqueduct 8th. Okay. I've got it on the right. This is a race. So the race 8 at Aqueduct is a maiden 30 claimer at 6 furlongs. These are 4 and up and New York State breds. And just point out to you, they carded this same race last week. Was it? I'm not sure if it was the same. Yes, it was the distance. I'm sorry, it was at a mile. They carded this last Friday at a mile at $30,000 claimer. And we had a 40-to-1 shot win that race. So this is typical of these lower level claimers that you could play any long shot that you want. And some of them, this looks a little weaker with not as many contenders as that January 17th 1 mile race at 30. But with that being said, I think the horse that I want to beat is any post time or not the post time, the morning line favorite, Omni Island. There's too many questions about that horse dropping down, blinkers on, second off a layoff. It showed some speed on a sloppy track, but was on turf and then to dirt on the sloppy track, hasn't proven itself. It can handle a fast track. There are too many question marks with this horse, in my opinion. Now, based on the drop alone, that horse can justify a play, but I want no part of that horse. I think the logical horse here, logical horses are the one having speed from the rail, drive through with Matty Oliver. But ultimately, the horse that I settled on is probably not going to be a price because I was looking at the 11 or 12 and I just couldn't make a case for that. Yeah. In this. But so with that being said, I think the 2 is a contender. You can use the 2 Katani. You probably get a better price than the horse that I'm going to wind up on. I tried to make a case for short time, second off a layoff, but that horse looks like he's totally out of form. But, he drops down to 30 for the first time. The horse that I settled on here, Scotty, is 10 Break the Fall. This horse had raced in maiden special in the first 2, and they weren't awful races. The first one wasn't awful, a decent third, but then kind of ran evenly around the track and finishing 8th. But that was a maiden special weight, state bred. Dropped in to 7 furlongs, a long layoff at 30, showed speed before retiring late, and also had stumbled at the start and was the favorite that day. I think this horse is very logical here for DePaz. Making second race off a layoff. Franco picks up the mount, Elliott off. So you get the you get a beneficial jockey change here. So I'm all over the 10 here, Break the Fall. I think this looks like a real solid play.
Yeah, I like the 6 horse, Wind Dancer as well. I do like the 10, and I struggled since I have 2 entries now. I'm probably going to play one of each. But when you look at the 10 horse, when you look at Horatio DePaz, he's 8% with first off the layoff and like 18% second off the layoff, 19%.
Which I forgot to point out. Thanks for pointing that out. Yep.
Right. So, and Franco jumps the board as well, draws a good post, has tactical speed. It shouldn't be too far back anyways, maybe 2 or 3 lengths back. The 3 horse could get an easy lead early, and which at this level could make this 3 horse tough, but the connections, they don't really win. I think the jockey trainer combination, 15% is not terrible. This horse is the top pace, top win, top GSR, lowest DE morning line, EquinEdge second pick. They win 44% of the time. Maybe the 3 on the lead is going to be second off the layoff. David Dugan off the second race back is 14%. Second race with the horse though, he's over. He's over. But this is a pretty big class drop in the win percent.
Yeah.
It drops in class, goes up in win percentage, David, and the GSR goes up.
Yeah, I just don't trust the horse. But again, with the drop down in class could make this horse very tough. But there's something about it. The thing that put me over the top is the failure of this horse to run or get a start on a fast main track. So we don't know what we're going to get.
And what about the 6 horse Wind Dancer? I was considering this horse has just I don't know that I can call it necessarily a money burner because its win percentages have been so low, and it's still low. I don't know how this horse ended up at 9-2 on the EE morning line. Is this one for David Dunk that's just not worth playing?
I would, if I'm going to take one of these horses, either the 3 or the 6. I think because of the price, I'd go to the 6. Has some dirt form. I mean, it's not great, but the last race, finishing 3rd at 7 furlongs at this level is not awful. The horse can run a little bit. Had a bad post 2 back, the outside 11 post, which concerns me a little bit about my pick. But Yeah, not the worst play in the world. I don't love it, but jockeys Savachi is doing well, 21% at this meet. So, yeah, no, you would talk me out of that one.
Right. Let's see here. So I'm not really a fan of the 5. The one drive through. You had mentioned this horse a little bit, and it's
speed.
You know, it ran against Break the Fall last time out, but and was ahead at the end barely, but and it dueled, and there's some speed in here because the 3's fast. So I think this all just kind of sets up best for the 10 horse. I think that I'm just more worried about the can the 2 rate, because the 2's burned a little bit of money as well. Can this 2 rate on the cutback and distance? It might be up to 2, right?
Yeah, I think so, but it looks just this horse's form just looks a little better on the turf to me, right? But yeah, at 6 for cutting back, it's not going to have much speed cutting back. You would figure. Have to make. Yeah, it may be tough. Yeah, maybe it may be in a little tougher at 6.
Let's see here.
Never sprinted.
The race simulator is saying this horse is going to be about 3 or 4 lengths back, and you know, often horses best on cutting back. 8 furlongs to 6 furlongs is a very good cutback distance. The horse has a good win percentage. It's the EquinEdge long shot. Man, I mean, I like this too as well. For me, the 2 horse, the 10 horse, the EquinEdge long shot algorithm could have chosen the 6 horse, but it chose the 2, and the win percentage is decent as well. Like I don't know why I put the 6 down. I said big look on the 6, and I don't know why. Why did I say that?
Well, in your defense on the 6, he's only been at this level 3 times at the maiden 30 level, where the 2 began his career at the 30 level and 30-40 claimers. The 6 on turf started his career on turf and maiden special weight. So, I mean, 4th time in the condition. Yeah, the 6 to me is usable.
Look at the stretch last time out on that 1-2 race. That horse was only a length back. Now, so he was part of this group. He was part of that 1-2 race, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. And
I remember one. Yeah, stumble start. Yep. And was bet as the favorite, but now you get a big jockey switch to Manny Franco.
On the 1 horse drive through, are they taking off blinkers? They're not taking off blinkers. Draws the rail. Let's see the race simulator, because the 3 is faster. And the 1 was dueling on the lead last time out, but the 1's not going to get the lead here. 3's fast. Isn't that great that we can run the race simulator like that and get the pace in seconds? Like, that is groundbreaking in horse racing in my mind, because of the work that we have. If we were looking at just the 1 horse and the 3 on paper, we wouldn't have a clue which horse was faster.
Right, because now the 3 also puts blinkers on for the first time, and you would anticipate more speed than it showed in its last start.
Yeah.
Yep.
You sure, and the 1's going to be all out to try to keep up with the 3, and that's because it's the 1 style, and from the rail it has to go, which sets it up for the 6. It really does set it up for the 6 and the 10. So I think what I have to do is, because I've got my gut, is on 1 ticket I'm going to use the 6, and on 1 ticket I'm going to use the 10. That's how I'm going to do that. Yep.
That sounds like a plan. I think you made a good decision there.
Yeah, let's see here. Okay. What haven't we covered? What do we need to go over?
Okay, we've got to go back to Santa Anita, correct? Yes.
Can we go to Gulfstream Park 8 real quick? Do you mind?
Oh, also I wanted to go to Gulfstream 8. Oh, you want to go back to 8? Sure.
We had the 12. I think I'm going to take a chance on the 4 horse. Now that I have 2 entries, okay, that's why I wanted to go back there real quick.
Right. Okay, that's right. You were going to come back. You're going to backtrack.
I'm going to put the 4 on one of them.
Okay. And you have the 12 on the other, correct?
That's correct.
And I have the 10 on my 1 entry. The one thing I wanted to do too, Scotty, if we have a chance, now we've only got till 3:30. I guess we'll stay on. You want to stay on for the first race at Santa Anita and then Bolt? Is that the game plan? You go to 3:30.
I'm using the same horses. We have 3 more races to cover. That's Gulfstream Park. We need to do Gulfstream Park 10.
Okay. Yes, let's go to Gulfstream Park 10 then.
Okay.
I forgot about, I forgot there were 10 races today. All right, Gulfstream Park 10th race. I think we got do I have a long shot? Oh, this is another. So we got a Tapeta race. And Scotty, I don't recall ever seeing this. And see, maybe I have the wrong distance. This is at 1 1/8 miles on the Tapeta. I don't recall seeing a 1 1/8 miles Tapeta race before. Have you?
Well, we had the mile race wrong. It makes me nervous. No, I don't remember this.
What is you have it at 9 furlongs? No, in the program it's 9 furlongs also. So
okay,
interesting.
all right.
Okay, so it must be right. And I just thought this was just another head scratcher, but I went back and forth, back and forth. I was going to use a long shot. I think I was going to use the 2 or the 5. Be Like Clint is the closer. Is going to be really tough, but it's going to be overbet with Irad jumping aboard. You got a speed here, an American Speed. And then you've got the horse I didn't know what to do with. And this is the horse. Or you want to look at Freedom Road first? Let's look at Freedom Road.
No, it's not that. I'm actually, you go ahead and talk. I'm looking to see which mares have run the synthetic. That's all I'm doing. I just kind of want to get a feel for this.
Sure. So I'll start off with Freedom Road. The one thing I like about Freedom Road, great workout on the 17th at Tampa, and is 11 for 26 lifetime. The one thing I don't understand is that this horse is trying synthetic the first time, ships down from the Mid-Atlantic circuit, and was in Tampa last year. Maybe a little too cheap for these, but I mean, on his best day, who knows? But I don't know what to do with the 9 KC Chief. Now it's a good hunch play for you Kansas City Chief fans. So you're playing on Sunday and going to get beat by the Buffalo Bills, but that's another matter. 3-peat will be over. And third race off a layoff and was favored in the first race back, right?
Yeah.
And the 9-horse field had the lead and gave way. Now, I've had this horse in the past. This horse prior to the layoff was in really good form. Reeled off 4 victories in a row and just missed in a 5th one at Presque Isle Downs in a small stakes. Then you have the layoff. The horse comes back, shows speed and tires late in the comeback race. Then in its second start is also 2-1 in a smaller field, and you would think this horse should just wire the field based on its form that it held in the past, and tired late. I mean, is this horse going off form? I'm not sure, but I'm going to give it one more chance. And even though I'm going to contradict myself about the speed, I think this is going to stalk. The Jaramillo picks up the mount today. I think he's going to stalk the 7, take the lead going around the far turn, and try to hold on. Is 6 for 16 over the Gulfstream Tapeta with 2 seconds and 1/3, 7 for 22 lifetime. Hopefully he's still got something left and can wire this field or just slightly off the pace. So give me the 9 KC Chief. A little reluctantly, but it'd be a little bit of a price.
Okay.
I think Be Like Clint or American Speed or Tis Romantic. One of those 3 will be the favorite. Tis Romantic. There's nothing wrong. This horse has been in good form. Just one beat American Speed last time. Obviously, you've got to use Drexler's Barn is hot. Luis Saez and Disattached to me is got an outside chance. Rock the Stars, the 5-horse is a just dead stone closer and may have a shot here. He's won a race on the synthetic.
I guess Oldie hit something over at Oaklawn Park. We didn't.
Oh, nice.
That one. So look, the 3-horse is going to be most likely your favorite. But when I look at the 2-horse, it's never run on synthetic. But the mother. No, I put the 2-horse down. No, that was Lovable Age Freedom. Hold on here. Yeah, because the mother was good. Earned $328,000. Obviously was a sprinter, and obviously Malibu Moon could stretch out. So I thought that the 2-horse Freedom Road likes to win. 11 wins in 26 races, and This horse has traveled, went up to Churchill Downs. I mean, look at this horse runs good. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight wins.
This horse loves to win.
And second place finish last time out. A nice horse. But then you've got the 3 horse who's proven on the synthetic and has a similar class for Luis Saez. 6 wins in 38 races. What do you do? Because, on paper, it looks like, okay, let's see the money earned. So the 2 horses had 4 wins in 1 second for 120,000 earned in 5 tries on the dirt in the last 6 months. The 3 horse, to put that in perspective, has only earned $42,000. So, I mean, class-wise, Freedom Road is the horse, right? I mean, but it's got one of the lowest GSRs in the field. But I tell you, the synthetic GSRs, they're tougher. A lot of and you're on the 9 horse KC Chief.
Yeah, the more that I'm looking at this field, is maybe more speed than I originally originally acknowledged or picked up on, because I mean, Freedom Road is going to be close to the pace, right, from an inside post, and it looks like the 1's not slow stretching out, and it could set it up for the logical closer like Clint. And Irad's going to be over bet there. That'd be the second or third choice. Then you've got American Speed. Speedy Hands is not slow. It should be closer, stretching out, right?
Why is the 7 horse 28%? Interesting. It's top win. It's also got the top SOR. Morelos has been aboard the last 4, 5 times, and the horse has run good, but it's always been on the lead. This horse is shown to come from behind. Like, if they were smart, they would sit, and they might. Maybe they'll find a way to win this way, and they'll get a price on this horse, because I really can't settle in on anybody else. I don't think anybody else is all that great. I would love, with all the speed in here, it sure would be nice if can this horse rate? I mean, it has in the past. Keen, pressed, stalked, but didn't stalk very well. I mean, he's going to probably take it. I mean, there's some speed in here, but the 7, the jockey only knew he's not fast enough to keep up with the 9 early. The 9's the fastest horse early, bar none, especially with Jaramillo on it. That, it's like, who's going to close? I think, to take a pure closer, maybe you're taking a horse like the 6 horse, Be Like Clint.
Right. And the 5 horse could be flying late. Has won a race over the Tapeta, but probably cheaper, obviously, than the 6 Be Like Clint. But these dead zone closers, if they run into any traffic, you can run into problems. So I mean, I thought the 5 had an outside look picking up Castellano.
Rock the Stars, really low GSR.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah.
I mean, it's really low. 3 wins in 26 races.
Hasn't visited the winner's circle in a long time. So, yeah, let me stay with the 9 there.
Nice going, Oldie.
All right, Oldie's on fire.
The 6 horse is just, I mean, its form is really not all that great.
Yeah,
it's
I don't trust
really not. Like, it's going to be closing, but look, even the 5 horse is closing. Maybe it's just the EquinEdge picks here. Got the 9 who could go gate to wire.
And Scotty, after we finish this race, if we could, I don't know if we have time, just quick to go to the 5th race at Aqueduct. I have a note in on the 7 horse Sunset Park. I want to see how she does.
Yeah, I think we have time, right? Because I don't think it starts until Gulfstream Park 7 and San Anita 1. Let's see here.
San Anita 1 would be 3:30, so we have 20 minutes.
Yeah, so we're okay.
We can buzz through it. I made my picks already. Yep.
Richard, they'll never do that. That's just too much money involved, and all the bets already in the tote. They will never do that. What about a horse like Panici? I mean, this horse seems a little class compromised, but there's going to be so much speed in the race. Maybe the 4 could close.
Yeah, I thought Disattached had a look as a closer. There's won a race on the Tapeta, broke its maiden for 25. Yeah, another wide open Tapeta race, huh?
It's certainly going to get the pace, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I don't know how you could play that horse over a horse like the 2-horse Freedom Road. I mean, it's just such a nice animal.
Yeah. But Tapeta's the unknown, my friend.
Does it look like they could place the 3-horse anywhere? Can Saez put this horse anywhere he wants? Like, he was only 12%. Look, if you think about it, really, in the last 3 races, the horse was only 7%, 12, and 8%. Today's 23. I don't. I'm gonna go with the 2 or the 3-horse. I'm not sure yet.
All right. The concern I had with the 3 Scotty, because I did originally put him on my list, was more place finishes than wins. He's got 6 career wins, 11 places, and 6 thirds. So maybe we have a case of a little bit of seconditis here.
Yeah. Okay. What did you get? There's race.
All right. 5th race at. If you check out my note, please, at on the 7 Sunset Park. I like this filly today.
All right, let's listen to this.
All right, they are actually starting to load in the gate. I have a different feed here, so hopefully this will be more.
I'll give you my best call.
Are you going to give you your best Larry Colmus or Trevor Denman? So who would you be more like, Trevor Denman without the accent, or Larry Colmus, or?
Yeah, it would definitely be Trevor, because I spent my entire life.
Right, you're a West Coast guy. Yeah. He's a great track announcer, by the way. Just fantastic. All right. Well, I got the 3 loading in the gate now. Where are you?
They're already loaded.
Yeah.
And the way they go.
Feed doesn't help either. I don't know what is going on here in Florida.
They broke pretty much in a straight line. The 2-horse is going to clear. It looks like it's trying anyways. 36-1, the splendid one. No, but they're in a line. 4 in a line right now. The 1, 2, 3, and 7 are in a line. And who are you on here?
The 7. The 7.
7's in between horses right now. Sunset
I had a note in on the 7.
And the long shot, 37-1, the splendid one, is about 2 lengths in front of the 3-horse Freud's Fantasy at 5-1. And you're sitting in 3rd right now. It's hard to tell. It looks like the jockey's prodding a little bit, to be honest. Like the 2-horse is in the lead by 2 lengths and running easily.
You're going a mile. Okay.
All right. They went 48-1 at the half mile pole. The 2-horse, the big long shot, is still in the lead. And you're done. Your 7's toast.
Not good.
Yep. And then here comes the 6, though. 6-horse, 4-5 favorite, Lose Redemption.
Oh, that's the favorite. Yeah.
Here comes the favorite on the outside of the 2-horse, 4-5, and gonna go on by them. Dirty and all, mud all over, but didn't matter. Lose Redemption, 4-5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 was not a good. Okay, horse was first time trying.
The jockey was determined to win by as many lengths as possible, whoever that was. He didn't need to, but he wanted to win by the length of the track.
Mirage. Not a mirage. How far that horse won by?
Oh, he got it there.
Yeah, wow. All right. Okay. Back
at
him.
Gulfstream Park number 6. Since we can show the race, we might as well show the race. And
so we got 15 minutes for the last 3 Santa Anitas.
We have let's see here. So we've got Santa Anita Park, which starts in 15 minutes. We actually better we better stick with this. Yeah. We better not.
Yeah. So let's.
Yeah.
All right, because I think we got 3, not 2. So we got the 2, and then was it 5 or 6? Yeah, let's. And I'll go. I handicapped and put my plays in already, so I'll just be pretty brief with them, because I would like to watch the first race at Santa Anita. Then I can bail. So 2nd race at Santa Anita, we got a mile. 10,000 claimers on the dirt at a mile. Who did I come up with here? Oh, okay. I'm going to change my pick. Hold on a second.
All right,
so
we're in
once you get up to that,
we have Santa Anita and 5 and 6 to do, right? That's what we have left.
we'd have to do number 2, 2, 5, and 6, 3 races.
We did race 2, I thought. No,
don't believe we did.
No. Okay. I did. Okay, hold on here. Let's see.
Okay.
Santa Anita 2. Let's go to 2.
All right, I'll let you go. I'm trying to get my horse players up there. Hold on a second. Okay, 72. We got a mile, 10,000 claimer on the dirt, and I put my pick in wrong, so I've got to change it. Originally,
thank you, Oldie, for answering Richard's question. Thank you.
Excellent.
Okay, so I'm on the 2 horse here, Impossible Task, and what looks like an impossible race. I considered Noble. Noldy, the 7 horse, the EquinEdge long shot. I considered Atomic Drop. But at the end of the day, I thought the 2 horse would save ground from the inside, was tactical. And then the 7 horse has no speed. And so I think the 7, while I think the 7 is going to be finishing, I think the 2 really gets a nice trip. And the 3 will have a lead. Here comes the 6 horse, Zimba Warrior. I had a hard time judging this 6 horse, but I went with Impossible Task for myself. But I will say this: the 6 horse Zimba Warrior is Jesus Urango used to train my horses at Los Alamitos. He is an incredible trainer. He really, really is. And so don't be afraid. He took over for this horse. I just don't like claiming. This horse was claimed by Diodoro. He takes over for Diodoro. You're asking a tall. I don't know. Diodoro, just his horses are either on fire or they're broken. For me, in my experience, but so that's why I'm going to stay away from that. Although the GSR goes up from 48 to 66, goes up 18 points. The win percentage goes up. Maldonado gets on, but this isn't a horse that's going to be on the lead. This is going to be a horse that comes from behind, and the 2 naturally is just going to be sitting right behind the 3 horse and the 5. So. I'm going with the 2.
Okay, I was originally going to go with the 5, Scotty, but the more that I look at it, this horse got caught by Impossible Speed last night just by a nose. I mean, it looks like the 5 absolutely needs the lead, and now you've got other speeds in here. You've got, I mean, the 2 it should be stalking, right? But the reverse post, so now the 2's got the inside post rather than the 7, and the 5 has now got the similar post. You know, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take a chance that the 5 is going to get a bigger break this time, going to wire this field and not get caught by the 2. So give me the 5, Soul of Midnight over the 2 Impossible Tasks. So Soul of Midnight for me.
You think the 2 can rate? I mean, it was a length back at the second call last time out, but it did have an outside post.
And that's the scenario I was worrying about here, playing a speed, that if the 2 hooks up with the 5 and then the 3 adds a little fuel to the fire, who's the closer who can win this race? Is it the 7, Noldy?
Well, the 7 can.
But it got beat by Atomic Drop twice on the front end. Yep. Tough one. I'm going with the 5. I'm going with the 5 as a wired up. Zimba Warrior is the closer. What's wrong with this horse?
Zimba Warrior is definitely a horse that can.
You familiar with the trainer? Had a terrible post on the turf at Turf Paradise last time out.
Yeah, claimed is very good.
Right, drops down below the level of the claim. That's a little worrisome. But had a good workout. You know, I'm switching. I'm going to Zimba Warrior. It looks a little like too much speed. I struggled a little bit with this race, so let me change it. I'm going to Zimba Warrior. I'm going to go with the other closer, and my primary pick is going to be the 6. Secondary is going to be 7. Looking for closers.
I think I just worry how far back. Look at how far back the 7 is projected to be.
I know.
And I strongly consider this horse, and this horse is going to be closing, no question. Like if I had to bet my life on one horse to be in the money, it would be the 7. But
with the 6,
the 7.
Okay, but the 7 had a nice second last time out, dropping down to this level.
the 6 horse I considered as well. And is this horse still okay? I mean, it clearly didn't like. You can throw out the last race. It didn't want the turf. There's no breeding for the turf.
Right.
And you can see the GSR dropped 18 points for the turf. So, all right, I'm going to stick with the 2.
Okay, Scotty's on the 2, and I'm on the 6. So I'm going to lock you in on the 2, Scotty. And we got 2 more.
I thought you were on the 5. So you said 6.
I changed from the 5 to the 6. I'm on Zimber Warrior.
Okay, so now we got to go to Santa Anita 5. We have 2 more races we have to cover in about 7 minutes.
Okay, so I'll make it pretty quick. We got a 1.125 miles now on the turf for optional claimers. 20K optional claimer, and this looks like it's Calbreds, correct? Yes, Calbreds. And where did I go here? Okay, yeah, I went to, it looks like there's a couple of speed balls in here. But since we were pressed for time, I will tell you I landed on the 9 Invest a Lot. I love the workout on January 13th. 5 furlongs, 58. And now this horse has gone wire to wire at Del Mar on the turf, breaking its maiden. Then another mile race at Del Mar, a $25,000 claimer. Had the lead, finished second, and then also it looks like it closed a little ground from an inside post last time out with a little trouble line. Have to be right up close to the lead, but I hope the jock here will gun towards the lead and either stalk or get the lead from the 5. But yeah, I'm going with the 9, right on the front end or slightly off the pace in this 1.125 race.
These 2 horses faced each other last time out, and looks like it looks like the jockey was trying to grab the horse, but the horse lost its path. It was pulling badly.
Yeah,
still barely lost. The 5 is real, but I don't know that the 5 wants to go 9 furlongs, and the 9 does. But if the 9 does that same thing, then I worry about what the 9 can do here. I mean, maybe we should be looking for the best closer if the 5 and 9 duel themselves into submission. And there's the 3, 7, and 8 just finishing. Might be worth trying to get a price. If you look at the 3 horse, it comes out of that same race, and it wasn't a bad race, and now it gets more distance. The GSR goes up 8 points. It's the EquinEdge long shot. Hector Barrios is aboard. I'm all over the 3. Yeah.
You're on the 3.
Yep.
And okay, so Scotty, let me lock you in on the 3. Big George, the closer. All right. You opted for the 1 for 13 horse. Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah, it seems logical for me. The horse was actually physically close.
Pace, right.
And Barrios is real. I really like Barrios off the pace. So yeah, I feel actually good about that play. All right.
Okay, and I'm on the 9. Okay, so we have 1 more race, right?
Big George.
Big George.
And 3. And then okay, so we got race number 6 now. We have 5 minutes. Okay, we're good.
Okay, we're good. We're good. So I'll to save time, we've got a 6 furlong, 16,000 claimer. 9 was a 2 lifetime, and the horse that just looks so logical to me is the 2 Shop Till You Drop, the top Scotty pick, dropped in class off a turf sprint, and 2 back, had a really solid effort at Del Mar, just missed, nice second, and has enough positional speed here. And my second choice would have been the 8, and I think it's either between the 2 or the 8. Those are the 2 horses I want. So I'm going to take Shop Till You Drop the 2 over the 8. 4 crazy long shot.
We don't miss this race. Hold on here. All right, so that's up. We won't miss that race. Okay, I'm going to dissect this a little bit closer since we have 5 minutes.
Sure. So should we have 5 minutes to go for it?
Yep, we've got the 1 horse that is the speed of the race. Let's just see how much speed there is. So the 8 is very fast as well, and the 8's going to need the lead. So the 8's going to be pressing on the 1. The 8 horse is very fast, has that outside post. It needs the lead. It's going. The 1 clearly a dead nuts front runner, no question about it. Neither one of them really has that. So I would probably try to beat those. Then you have the 2 horse Shop Teal Drop, who's actually going up in GSR from that race on the turf. It wanted no part of that. The problem with this horse is, I mean, it can rate a little bit. Gonzalez is aboard. I'm not going to be surprised if Gonzalez gets crazy and tries to send this horse straight to the lead.
He could get enough positional speed to have that option available, I would think.
Which leads me to like the 4 horse, Misty Upset, Ayuso. On the stretch out. Yep.
Muppet.
Misty Muppet. And 5 horse will be closing as well.
Yeah, another wide open race you can go.
Left. The 5 though was close to the pace last time out, whereas the 4 horses, I think legitimately can close, but it's usually near the pace. What about a horse like the EquinEdge Long Shot, Sabres?
Yeah, Mike Soletta will be having Sabres. This horse has won a race over the track and cutting back. Yeah, I mean this horse could
like why here. You know what I mean? Like it's in Crypto Crush. That would be appropriate in these times, but you know, this one is not a good breaker. Went 6 furlongs, 2 back, and 1 over at Pleasanton against a 40 group, but did it easily, showing that maybe there's a little bit more in the tank. That horse doesn't want to win. Sabres doesn't.
You got a bunch of horses who don't want to win. 1 for 8, 1 for 8, 1 for 13, 1 for 11.
Jeff Bondi's got the 5. Muppet and Mike Pipey. The problem with this horse for me is just burn too much money. I can't. I'm gonna 30% to win. Also the top SOR. I'm gonna take the 5. Fly a Fantasy.
Okay. Yeah, so Scotty, let me lock you in on the 5 here, my friend. Fly a Fantasy. Kyle Frey. Okay. Good race last time out, a 5.5.
Let's see here.
Never gone the distance. This is more of a 5.5. Only 8 starts, so we don't know that.
I'm going to put the 7 horse Sabres on 1 ticket.
Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna do that just in case.
Yeah, it should be closing late. And back earlier in the year, he seemed to have a little more speed. Don't know what happened to his positional speed, but you can throw that if you throw the turf races out and the distance race out at a mile. This horse would stand a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck to you as well, Patrick. And
thanks, Patrick. I knew, Mike, you'd be on the Sabres. I'd be disappointed if you weren't on that horse, my friend.
Good luck, David, to you.
All right. So right now, the 2 is just being bet off the board, 2 to 5. And you don't want that horse in the contest then. I'm on the 5, and who are you on? Are you both on the 5 in this race?
I'm on the 5 as well.
And what's your second one? I have 1 entry today.
Is also on the 5. I've got both on the 5.
All right, let's go 5 at 12 to 1.
Really dead though. Wow, she's splendid. Has got a big win.
All the money.
Wow.
Is this the Mad Bomber who decided to go from the from South Florida to the West Coast today?
I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch to the 7, Amelia Blue.
Okay, both ones.
Or I'm sorry, the 8 with Tyler Bass. I'm going to switch.
Oh, the 8.
Horses have reached the starting gate.
Yeah, because that was a horse I liked a little bit as well. I think
the early pick 5.
I think the 2
just went over $200,000. We're going a mile.
But
1 to 5, Scotty.
But that's just too low. Yeah, that's just too low.
Yeah, Wiz, Daryl LaMonica, sure remember that. The Mad Bomber, loved those days. The AFL passing.
More left to load.
It was just a lot of fun watching those old games. George Blanda. Lenny Dawson. Geez, I'm dating myself.
We're in the gate.
All right, good luck, everybody.
She's Splendid came out smoothly enough. Here's Amelia Blue and Putt for Dough, and those two go on with it now. Auditory is 4th, just outside the heavy favorite. Then Leopardess, who was half a step slow out of the gate. If you ain't first, your last race is in between horses. At the rail, God's Favor is 6 lengths off the dueling leaders and 2 in front of Sparkle Sweetly. Around the first turn,
She's Splendid getting off at 2 to 5. Amelia Blue is sitting a nice trip behind the
gap of 4 to the perfect trip for She's Splendid 3rd. Then Auditory and Leopardess side by side. God's Favor, if you ain't first, you're last. And Sparkle Sweetly. They're covered by a dozen. Heading to the half-mile pole. Putt for Dough kept honest by Amelia Bleu, who's within a half length now in second. Still 5 back to She's Splendid, reserve 3rd. Then Auditory and Leopardess right together. A length back to God's Favor. If you ain't first, you're last. And nothing yet from Sparkle Sweetly. Putt for Dough, Amelia Blue ahead away. 4 lengths back. She's Splendid, not called on yet. Getting closer, however. And outside of her, Leopardess. Now, She's Splendid is let loose at the quarter pole and comes right after the top pair, swallowing them up with 3/16 to go. In the meantime, Auditory's had a good trip and comes through to take second. They're inside the 8th pole. She's Splendid. Auditory now clearly second. Leopardess, Putt for Dough,
I went away from the 5.
Outside, if you ain't first, you're last. It's She's
really good
Splendid.
Trip by the 5.
She's Splendid. The
right up the rail. The trip made the difference. Got some. All right, got place money. It's not really going to cost anything with the 2 to 5 shot, 1 to 5, 2 to 5 shot on top, right?
Yeah.
So
look at that,
basically breaking even. Okay, you needed to have one of those two, right? All right, got a lucky sweet trip, Patrick, on that 5 horse for a little place money. So got at least on the board. Now, did you switch both of your tickets over, Scotty?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 2-5. Looks like 2-5-4.
Right.
All right.
So it'll be close.
I've been picking them. You can't switch like that. Like you gotta, I know better than that. When you switch it like that, it's just never worth it. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Good show.
What that Exacta pay actually? That Exacta paid 2-5 paid $6. So all right, for $1. Good way to start. 11 to 1 off on that Auditory, who was 7 to 2 on the morning line. Those are the top 2 win percentages by far.
Right.
32% over 24%, and Leopardess ended up settling for 4th or 5th, just barely. But listen, best of luck today, but best of luck tomorrow on the Pegasus.
Yes, you too, Scott, my friend. Hope to see you on that leaderboard along with myself.
Yep.
Should be a fun day tomorrow. Got a lot of competitive races. And I just want to point out, going to the Southwest at Oakland Park, I really like a horse in there, Sandman from Mark Cassie. So I'll be playing Sandman as a single in the Southwest.
All right, go get them. Good luck. All right, everybody. Well,
good luck, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a great weekend. Happy Pegasus Day. Hit them hard this weekend. Take a lot of the track's money. And as I always say, may the horses be with you, my friends.